We back, people. Oh, we got a good show today. You know who I am. It's Little Lemon. And we got two special guests. We got Uncle Paris, Uncle Hoggy, and Super G made an appearance. Can't wait. We're going to talk about Gamescom. We're going to talk about the industry and Indiana Jones going to P5. Plus, we got some other special things. But listen, you already know. Let's get it poppin'. Welcome to the Dragon's Den.
Welcome to the Dragon's Den, one of your most captivating podcasts out there, with your host, Nvidia.
What's good, people? Welcome back to another episode of Dragon's Den, episode 129. Give yourselves a round of applause. You already know what it is, man. We got some special people in the building. We're going to talk about a special situations. And, man, it's a pleasure here, man. We got my man, Mr. Paris, a.k.a. Debo, in the building. What's good with you, brother? How you been?
I'm good, man. I appreciate the invite. Looking forward to the conversation.
And of course, we got my man Hard Geek. Wherever he disappeared to, he be back. One of the best, genuine dudes in the game. I love this guy, man. No, wait, no, that was Super
weird.
G doing something on his computer, messing the screens up. There you go.
Oh,
yeah. Stop.
Hey, we're not gonna blame me, bro.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hard Geek, what's
Now
good?
it's
What
all
you been
messed
up
up.
to,
Anyways.
man?
Yeah, I've been actually just ripping my freaking movies. I've just been on this tear. I set up a new NAS and I've been ripping all my 4K Blu-rays and Blu-rays into it. So, been spending a lot of time on that. Not playing, which is kind of annoying. I kind of want to get back to doing that, but I've been kind of wasting time on that.
How long does it take to rip one movie? Average time?
Somewhere between like 30 to 40 minutes, generally.
Oh, wow.
So
I'm
not
never-
too bad. I got 4 drives in parallel. Just keep running through them.
I ain't doing that. I got
Remember the
20 I got
days when it
2,500
took you
movies.
2 days to download a movie?
Nah, I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it.
LimeWire.
Yeah, but that won't be what I want. I want full quality, so I'm getting exact bit to bit like copy of my 4K Blu-rays, so I can run them in the house. So
Too many movies for me. I got too many movies.
yeah, I hear that. I think I'll probably discs.
I'll probably have to
more.
die and get reincarnated to finish.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good.
Takes a while, but I'm actually like almost through. I'm like 2/3 of the way done. So that's what I've been doing.
So and of course we got the AKA scrub nurse, the doctor in the building. When he ain't here, he ain't saving lives. I don't know what you doing here. You supposed to be on Batman call. What's good, bro? How you been? That Call of Duty life.
Glad
I
to
seen that poll today. I saw that poll.
Glad to be back. Have some fun. Me and Call of Duty, we gonna start it back up next week because you know what that means.
Oh yeah, we streaming. We
it's
going
beta
live.
testing time.
Yeah, we going
We
live.
streaming. We going live.
That's facts.
Until then, I'll be on that X Defiant. So, in a new room, got a new setup. So I apologize if I don't look as my beautiful self as always, or sound as well as I always should.
You good? But
I'm
what's
glad
in that?
to be here.
What's in
Glad
that
to see
glass?
everybody.
What's in that glass?
Nothing right now, man. I ain't had time to go to the store.
You went to that
Oh,
meeting
bruh.
this week, I see.
I went to that meet. I went into that meeting. I couldn't get it, but I will be avenged. We're gonna make up for it next time.
Super G is in the building. You know I call him AKA Aquaman because this dude saved the whole city from drowning. Shout out to you. Shout out to you for being able to pull up this week. And this guy be saving LA, man. Oh, excuse me, what? San Diego? What is it? San
Somewhere
Diego,
around
right?
there.
Yeah.
IE.
Somewhere
on the West Coast.
What's good with you, bro?
Somewhere in between both those places.
How you been?
Man, it's all good, dude. Glad to be back. We got some great guests. We got Argeet and Paris, dude. So we about to get a lot of info dumped on us today. So I'm excited for it. Let's do it.
That's a fact. That's a fact, man. So now let's jump into the nitty gritty, man. We're gonna go straight to you, Paris, man, because you know your voice is made up by a synthetic machine. So, yo, that's crazy. Yo, he has the weirdest people in his comments. It's crazy. They be saying some crazy stuff. Yo, so let's start off with the next Xbox, man, and the platform. You know, we keep hearing about Steam, an open-ended box, still console hardware, but more of an open PC-based system. So what is your vision with that, and where you think they should go?
I do think that's probably where they're going to go, but I do think they're also going to have the two-tier approach again, where you're going to have the hybrid console that sits under your laptop, under your TV, and it'll have access to multiple digital stores. It'll be more PC than console, right? And it'll be more. It'll also be a boutique item. It's not going to be cheap. I don't think they're going to be subsidizing anymore. I just think it's like, hey, we're offering you just like we'd offer you a Surface laptop, but that doesn't mean that it has to be the way that you play our games. But I think the big thing's going to be that handheld. That if they can nail that handheld where it's playing all your Xbox games, obviously has access to Game Pass, has access to Steam and all these other digital stores. You can take it on the go. You can dock it, play it on the TV as well. It becomes that multi-function device that kind of separates it, obviously from its competitors like PlayStation. Similar to the Switch, essentially what Nintendo did with the Wii U going to the Switch. But the difference would be it's not just locked into the Xbox digital store. If you got Steam, Ubisoft, or whatever it might be, right? You can play that on there too. I think that's where they're headed with it, and they're going to continue to bring their games to multiple platforms.
Now I got another question for you.
Hey, Lemonade,
I got
echo before you start.
Oh yeah. Let me cut off his NDI on the regular. I got it. Thank you, y'all. Thank you. Appreciate that. So let me ask you. Now, my thing with the handheld is I wanted to have an Xbox store. Whatever you buy on your Xbox, I want you to be able to play on this handheld, because as much as people loved xCloud, when I was beta testing it, my biggest thing was console streaming, because whatever wasn't on Game Pass, I could still stream it. And I think that would be a bigger bonus. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's mandatory, of course, where anything that you buy on the Xbox store should be playable on there, be it first party or third party, right? That should be the whole incentive, where you're taking your entire Xbox digital library with you wherever you go. If they can't pull that off, then what's the point of the handheld, in my opinion?
Yeah, that's a fact. You could just keep your ROG allies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because I told somebody, I said, listen, if they don't have where your ecosystem go with you anywhere, I'm not gonna keep buying these $800-900 handhelds, because it starts to add up. So,
and the reason I think they're gonna do that is because the CEO wants it. Phil wants it. Yeah. He said it. Yeah. So of course they're gonna try and pull it off. I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire. They've been teasing it way too much for it to not be a reality. Now, do I think it's coming this year or next year? No. I think it's going to be paired with whatever their next generation offering's going to be. So honestly,
I think they're going to replace the Series S with a handheld. I think the next generation Series S will be a handheld, and then the next generation Series X will be, like you said, like something that's probably open-ended, powerful, and gonna cost a lot.
Yeah, it's not gonna be cheap. I think the days, because again, you got to listen to everything that Phil says, right? So he said this during GDC, that it is getting harder to subsidize hardware. They're giving you a signal to where they're headed just by saying that. That to me says, don't expect a $500 Xbox Series X for the next generation. Whatever it's going to be, it might be $700, $800, $900. I just think that's realistic, because their thing is going to be
$500 is going to be a console that gets washed in like 2 years, just like this.
And that's the point. And that's been a complaint that's a complaint that I've had going back to the last generation of consoles. That's why you got a PS4 Pro and Xbox One X last generation, because that hardware was underpowered. They couldn't even do 1080p 60. In the last generation. So they had to do a mid-gen refresh. And here we are in this generation. I'm sure we'll get into that conversation, where they're struggling to do 4K 60 unless it's some kind of crazy performance mode on there, right? So
listen, we still don't have a 4K 120 game.
No.
Not one.
And you won't.
I keep telling
you
people.
Won't, unless it's an indie game.
Right. We don't have one. Everything runs with variable refresh rates. There's no solid 4K 120 on no platform besides, I guess, PC.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, Hog Geek, chime in.
What about the Falconeer? What about the Falconeer? Isn't the Falconeer able to?
Variable refresh rate.
I could have sworn that was one of the things. That the dev himself talked about. That he was able to get that native.
I mean, you'll get some indie games that'll do things like
that. Right? Indie games.
What was that?
And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. Is that
remember that one, Tourist? I think it got it to 8K something ridiculous, right? But it's like, it's little.
Hog Geek for nobody, right? It's like one person got an 8K TV. My dumbass.
Yeah. So, but either way, I
don't even know why I did that.
I'll echo essentially what Paris said. Look, I would say that the industry is gonna have some changes come to it, whether they would like it or not. A lot of the world has shifted to a mobile and then PC based world, right? Consoles kind of stagnated. It's got its 200-ish million, and you've heard it from they want 3 billion, right? You're not getting that on console, so they have to move beyond it. That means they will still focus a little bit on console. Obviously, it's where Xbox got its teeth, right? They're gonna stay there. They're gonna keep the console enthusiasts going. But it is a small percentage of the players. That's just the way it is, right? This is why they're changing their strategies. They are going to focus on other stuff. That will make you feel a way. It just will, right? Because they're not going to give all their attention to you. They're also going to say, I need to pay attention to those PC players that play 100 million, 200 million, whatever it is, across their many large games and other games. They want to get into that area. And they're going to focus on mobile, which is where the majority of the revenue is. It's just a fact. It's just something you have to deal with now, right? And that's where the majority of the players are too. So look, this is just something that's going to happen. As far as the continuation of hardware in that console space, look, what makes sense to me is to say, take what you have as a superpower, which is Windows, and move it forward. Xbox is a Windows device. We just don't realize it. It's very stripped down, but it is Windows, and then it has a very controller-friendly UI, baked on top of it. They have requirements of whatever is put on there that it has to be controllable through a controller, and that's why it works seamlessly, right? But it is Windows. They can expose more of it, give you access to other stores. Those are deals that they have to make with those stores, and then it just stays kind of status quo. Or they can make it even more open and say, you know what? It doesn't have to be just us, right? It could be Xbox makes hardware just like Surface, and Lenovo, and Asus, and Dell, and Alienware, and whoever, PlayStation, can make hardware that runs the same bloody thing. And, you know, we'll give you the spec, we'll give you the security chips, we'll give you whatever you need, and you can then make an Xbox that anybody can buy. And then the spec can kind of be minimum, and then whatever you want on top of it, right? So if you want something that's got a 4070, a 4080, fine, whatever, go ahead. You want a high-end 7900 XTX, fine, right? We'll let that go. We can unlock frame rates, do whatever you want, right? So in the next gen of games, it can be more PC scale. You get a few more tweaks that you can do, and you can choose. You want frames, graphics, your choice, right? Get a little bit more of the PC flair, and then you choose the price point you want, right? Will they subsidize the hardware? I think on that portable, they might. But here's the problem. If they keep subsidizing the hardware, this is one of their like problems. They need to get that some way, and that's why they have to have you pay for online. On PC, that's not a thing, right? So they're going to have to make that switch at some point. If they really want to be PC friendly, they want to kind of go down that path. You're not going to expect somebody to buy a ROG Ally and say, oh, hey, I'm going to pay, $70, $80 a year for online. Yeah. Okay, that's probably not something that's going to happen. So you're going to, because they tried it. Windows Live occurred and it failed and it went away.
Did not work.
So it did not happen. Okay, so like they're going to have to like make that leap at some point to say that online pay is going to go away. That paywall is going away.
All right, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you something. Let me interrupt you real quick. Didn't Steam try that? That really didn't work for them either. So how can Microsoft be different? Because that Steam box was a good idea. Pick your own stats, because this the thing. People run and say, oh, I'll build a PC. I don't care. Then when they go in there and see what it takes to perform like these consoles and the price of the hardware you got to do to match what these consoles do. You could play anything at 300 frames at 720p. So what? How would they fix that?
The games, right? It's the same thing that Stadia ran into. Is yes, Steam has all these games, but they're made for Windows. So if you want to go to a different platform, which is what they did, you have to get the games to come there. Now, what they did with the Steam Deck, they said, you know what? We'll bridge that divide for you. Create Proton, well, not create, but take Proton and make it work, right? And that's what they did. They said we'll make that layer work. So we'll take Steam games, they will run in an emulated Windows, and you can play your game, right? So that's what they made happen. That's always going to be the problem. Stadia decided we're going to pay these publishers to make a port to Linux. Well, that failed miserably because people didn't come. And, if you're going to buy the game, because that's what they wanted, you have to pay it $70. It's like, but what if you go away? I don't want to buy my $70 game. And then I can't download it later, and you're telling me, if you shut down like you did, like, what am I going to do with my games, right? So it's just not a tenable thing. Now, Steam could, win out on that one because you have cross wherever we are, you can keep your game. That's cool because then you're at least on PC, you have it, right? So they could do that. But again, it's the same thing. You have to pay a publisher to say, I'm going to bring it to Linux. And that was why those things failed. Now, with Steam Deck, it's like, no, we don't have to worry about that. It's still just Windows. Go ahead, make your Windows game. We'll emulate for you, no problem, right? That's why that 5 million out and say, I'm going to take a hit and give you the thing and pay you to buy my hardware. But I have no way to recoup that money. What's the point, right? So and they can't really hamper their partners if they're going to say, you can make an Xbox, you can make an Xbox, but we're going to undercut you by like 40%. Yeah, that's not going to work. So it's going to have to be something like that. So I agree, Paris. I think it's going to be, you're going to have that like higher end machine, but you're probably going to pay more for it. And they're kind of getting you there now. You look at like the prices haven't gone down, they've gone up. The digital PS5 was $400 in launch. It's now $450. Right, and you look at the Xbox side, and they're releasing a $600 Xbox Series X, granted with 2 terabytes, but that's where it's going. It's going up. It's not going down.
And this is the first time in history. That's the first time I've ever seen that.
Going down. So they're getting ready, getting you guys ready for it, and I think that's on both sides. You're just gonna have to like kind of eat into that. They're having financial issues on the other side too, right? They're just not like as open about it, and we're not going into it as much. We should. But that's kind of the thing, right? They can't sustain their model either. Making $200, $300 million games is a problem for them as well. and their profits are thinning, and they want to make their consoles. That's why they're increasing the price. Their consoles make money. So this is going to be something that happens. And if we want to have an open ecosystem, you're going to have to have that option for them to make profits, right? So when you buy your Alienware Xbox, you're going to pay more because they want to make a profit on it. That's the way it's going to be. But I think that's better. Overall, that makes it so that if I want a differentiated experience, I still get my same Xbox experience as far as the OS, as far as the UI. My games are there, my achievements, everything, all that's still there. But I can decide I want more performance, I want less performance, right? So it'll be a minimum baked. This is what you got to have, and then beyond that, do whatever you want, right? I think that kind of gets you to a point where it's much more interesting to the customer. Some of us are techies, and maybe every couple of years we're like, I want to upgrade. I'll go get the next new thing that Dell put out or Lenovo put out. Cool, this looks like it's going to give me more frames. Cool, I'll go buy it, right? Fair enough, right? That changes the whole cycle design of what a console is. It becomes more of what we're already in, right? Like it used to be consoles were a gen locked and that's it, and then you go to a new one and you're starting anew. That's really not the case. Since the Xbox One and PS4 came out, it's a PC now. This is why a lot of people are still on the old gen. Their games still work. Why do I need to upgrade, right? And that's going to keep happening. When you're, even in the next gen coming out, you're probably still going to have a lot of players on PS4 and Xbox One because it still works, right? And the games they care about, Fortnite, Apex, right? Those are all still there. Call of Duty's probably still going to be on Xbox. It's just the way it is, right? So this is kind of the world we're in. That's basically PC, right? PC will handle all the way from like the 1650 all the way up to whatever the heck is out now, 4090s coming up with, I think they're still in 7900s, right? For the AMD side. Yeah. But, so it is what it is, right? So and as the new ones come out, it's not like the old ones go away. People are still on those old ones and they keep supporting them. So that's kind of how it goes. So I think that's kind of where we're going to head. So I kind of agree it's going to be kind of more expensive if you want that higher tier. I don't know if they subsidize the portable because even there, ROG Ally's portable, Lenovo Legion Go, you have others. Maybe they want to just do the same thing and say, we'll have one, but we'll partner with others too. And that gives you variety. One of the cool things with portables versus a landed console, I can buy other controllers and connect it. When you have that actual portable, the controllers are kind of baked in. And so that interface of like the physical interface is where you can have innovation. And there really is differences. Like there's a difference between the Neo versus the Legion Go versus the the ROG, right? They have different ways of doing things. And each one of them can bring something new to the market, right? And that's kind of cool. It gives you creativity and options where somebody might give you something that's better than everybody else, right? So I think that's where you'd want to have that. And look, Switch 2 is coming. Maybe people don't even give a damn, but I think it's going to be a competitor at this point. I think it will play the third-party games. And when that happens, both Xbox and PlayStation have to respond. And we'll see what they do. So yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting world. Again, Steam and Epic being on the Xbox, if that happens, would be a massive game changer, right? Because then you just get access to, let's say, 80% of all the games that are in the Steam store that are in Epic. Like that's a lot of games that you suddenly are open to that might not have been on the platform, and it eliminates the whole exclusivity headache because essentially all of PlayStation's games are there. So what do? You now have access to them, right? So you can play them if you want. That box becomes more universal. So we'll see what happens going in the future. I don't know how long we keep in this sort of exclusives world. I think it's still going to be there for a few years at least, but at some point those barriers are probably going to come down, and it probably is Xbox that pushes it. The other thing is you have to look at what Xbox is right now, right? There's not been a behemoth at this level in gaming. It is really kind of owning the majority of like the big publishers. It's kind of the way it is, right? There's only so many other publishers that come to this level, but nothing is as big as Xbox now. ABK used to be the biggest publisher. That's just one part of Xbox now. You have to look at that, and there's no map for this. There's no roadmap that's been written. It's like people want them to pick a lane. It's like there's no lane because this is new. They're paving the way. There's not much they can. So for them to immediately know what is the right path, that's not going to be easy because they have to figure it out, right? It may make sense to say this game should be everywhere and this game should not, and they have to work through that. They're learning, and why they're learning is because they can't say, oh yeah, Sony did that. Sony does everything exclusive. That's not going to work for Xbox. There's no way. they're in a totally different lane now, and they have to kind of figure out what that means. And people are going to get uncomfortable. I think that's kind of the way it is. But I'm just taking it in stride. As long as my Game Pass keeps getting more games, I'm happy. If I get more hardware, that's awesome, right? That's exactly where I am. Like, I can't tell the company what to do. All I can do is, give some ideas to them. But like ultimately, you just kind of have to take it in stride. This is a different game company now. Yes, they have a platform, but they are also a massive, probably the biggest game publisher that is out there. And
they're definitely the biggest
now. A whole different level, right? Yeah. You have to just accept that.
They got other problems.
And they're going to have returns that they need to give.
Separated from
when they
each
spend
other.
$70-80 billion, there's going to be a lot of scrutiny, right? So it's no longer a little side show. This is the main show, and like there's going to be financial look, just like on PlayStation side. To be fair, right? Sony banks on PlayStation, and that's why they have their financials there detailed out, and they're making sure everything's profitable. This is going to be the same thing. Phil is now dealing with that, right? This is a big part of Microsoft. It's a big part of Microsoft. So they have to return. They have to give enough financial returns for everything. And so you're going to see some differences. Just it is what it is. Taking it stride.
All right. That was a lot of goddamn information, Hoggy. What topic we was on again, Paris? We didn't even get to his book yet. Whoa. No, that was excellent, bro. That was excellent. Bloody man, chime in on this hardware. What would you like to see it? The future hardware, the idea about Steam and these different stores, and the portable. And get to that super chat, because your super chat is awesome. Where you give it up. Shout out to Jay Bari in the building.
Yo, shout out to Jay Bar. Shout out to Jay Bar with that $9.99 super chat. Say, New York in the building. What a lamb. What a lamb.
What's good with you, brother? What's good? Yo, listen. They need about 10 more million of you for Concord, bro. Ooh, we got to call in the troops.
That's a little rough.
Oh man, I'm happy.
I think that war is lost.
Yeah,
that war is lost.
I wanted the game to be successful so I could play something on first person shooter on PlayStation that's first party. I wanted it to be successful.
Lemon, what's the first thing you said? You said first person shooter on PlayStation. That's where you messed up.
Wow.
Nope. You said first person.
Nope.
That's where you messed up. There's only one first person, and that's Call of Duty that they gonna ever play on that box.
Oh, Lord.
He's not wrong though.
Anyway.
When am I ever wrong?
Well, I mean, they do own Destiny. That's still being played, right? So.
But it's not as what it once was.
Anyway.
Yes,
this
and
is true.
It's true. But it's technically not their first party.
Yeah.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
It's the way they're going. It's getting there. They about to own it all.
Yeah. But to kind of go back to the question here that you had here. When it comes to the hardware, the issue that I see, Hargy brought out a lot of great points here. Changing from the subsidization here, obviously they're going to increase the price. They're going to increase potentially more customization. And it's going to be more focused on partners, not necessarily focused in-house anymore. They may still have the base, quote unquote, in-house as the standard or the baseline, but everyone's going to want change things. It's going to be more PC. We already see that everything is going more PC-like, especially with if you look at handhelds. Some of these PC handhelds, you mentioned the ROG Ally, you mentioned the Steam Deck, you mentioned the Lenovo Go, all that kind of stuff. While a lot of them are set with certain aspects, you can customize them. You can.
They said Bloody got an echo.
I fixed it.
Hold on, Bloody.
No, I fixed it.
It's fixed. All right. Go ahead.
I have no idea how.
It's not you. Remember last week we had the problem with the regular chat can't be heard. I had to unmute everybody's NDR. So now I got to remute everybody.
Okay.
But go ahead, continue.
But the thing is that what we're seeing from the way that the hardware side of the industry has been changing, they know that they can't. It's not the same way that the industry was 20 years ago. It's gonna suck for the standard consumer. That's why there's more potentially still going to be the baseline in-house version, but everyone's going to be looking at it more customized because of the fact that, as even Paris mentioned, there's going to be more people who are going to be making their own versions of the hardware because of the fact that There's going to be people who will demand something different. It's not the same cost that it was, a decade ago, let alone 2 decades ago. Even Scrub and Hargeet mentioned that generations used to be single. It was one and done. Look at the 360 generation, right? What was that? We had almost 12 years of that console or more, or like 10 years. I was like, and it was the same thing that we had from 2005, 2006, all the way up to like 2013 and everything else. That was seen as a very long generation for a single console. I was like, the only changes that they did was, hey, they went from just using standard, aux out cords, introducing the Jasper model, switching over to HDMI before they ended up moving to the Xbox One, PS4 generation, stuff like that. As for handhelds, we know that the handheld market is competitive. The Switch dominated that hybrid console with being a handheld and console at the same time, and now everyone's wanting to make a portable PC that can game on the go. I was like, Steam Deck tried doing it. I was like, ROG Ally's doing it. Lenovo's doing it. Everyone wants to get in on that. If Xbox and Microsoft want to get in on that, they have to be able to make it more than just their own OS. You're seeing a lot of these are trying to be able to have multiple storefronts. That's going to be a key going forward, because yes, people want to be able to keep their ecosystem, but you have to be able to expand past that. We're already knowing that one of the biggest things that they're doing here with the cloud is being able to play on any device anywhere you go. But that's only for certain games that have been approved for that. What is one of the big things that Phil and them have talked about in the past? Not just games that are specifically made for playing cloud versions, is that being able to play cloud versions of games that you already own. That's going to take a lot of extra work here, and being able to make those kinds of copies. And then the fact is that people have these other platforms that they use, other storefronts. I was like, there's most gamers nowadays, especially you look at this group here, we are definitely the hardcore. So we have libraries across multiple storefronts, multiple platforms. That needs to be a big part going forward, especially since that's what they've talked about. I was like, we know that that's something that they're looked into. A lot of other places are looking into being able to do that, because of the fact that that's what the community wants, but also that's just where the industry is growing to.
Right. All right.
So it's one of those things that the industry's changing. It's not the same way that it was before. It's definitely not the same as it was back in the 90s. I was like, this is just one of those things that they are in a completely different environment, and they're the only ones who are really pushing it and experimenting. And I may not agree with certain decisions. There's definitely a lot that I don't. But the fact is that I understand where it's coming from and why it's happening. And I think that's where we as the community have to understand, is that for those who aren't completely in the know and dedicated tech heads like half of everyone here, this is a change because of the fact that this is just where the industry as well as the economy is going, and why it's going to be a necessary change for everyone in general.
All right. That's good points, bloody good points. Yeah, they wild in the chat, right, Super? Yo, shout out to the chat, man. Shout out, give yourselves a round of applause. Y'all some wild boys out here. I love the chat, man. It's an awesome time to have y'all pulling up in these podcasts.
I want to give a shout out to Sir X, man. You can't stop me, because I wasn't even talking that long. And who let this man out of the old folks' home, right? Someone needs to take away his keyboard.
Yo, we said, shut your ass up. You just got here.
Exactly.
Super, chime in, man. Chime in on his handheld, what you would like to get up from it, and what you think it could be, what you think it could,
Microsoft, you know what? These guys all have fantastic takes. I don't want to steal any more time on this. This is we already beat it in the head, dude. So just know, everybody, you're prepared to open up your wallets. If y'all really want that performance, y'all really asking for it, get ready to open up your wallets. That's all I say, dude.
Scrub, you want to chime in?
Yeah, mine's gonna be real quick too, because I love how everybody's online talking about what the next gen's gonna be and all this stuff. We are the old heads now. The way generations are changing, the way people are playing, the way people are doing things is past us now. We are adapting to the new age. So there's going to be some things. That's why we got a lot of different people that are mad about this and mad about that. So I'm interested to see. Yeah, that's not. It's not for us. You know, there's a lot more handhelds because this last generation has been growing up on tablets. So, I just want to the older heads. You got to deal with change, and we have to deal with change if we're going to continue being gamers because the games and the systems are not made for us anymore. So just keep that in mind, and maybe we might not be as mad when certain things happen. I'm interested to see. I don't care what kind of fidelity, whether it's 4K, whether it's 120. It does not mean a thing if the developers don't give us what the consoles, the handhelds, or whatever can do. We've had that for a lot of these last generations. We're getting to the end of the generation, and then we can see what the max of the console can do. We're in this generation now, and we kind of talked before the show started how we're not reaching the pinnacle of what these things can do. Everybody's been about 4K. 4K is nice, but 60 looks better. If it's not 4K, you throw 60 on there and throw 120, gives you a more smoother experience. So I'm just excited to see where it is, and wherever it goes, let's either follow or stand foot in your platform and be left behind.
Now ain't gonna take too long, but I'm gonna chime in.
Hey, Paris got something to say though. You want to get his
No, let him go. Let him go. I'll say something at the end.
No, go ahead, Paris.
No. Wait, can we cuss on here?
Yeah, well, you know.
Oh no, I was just gonna talk shit because
talk all that shit. Talk that shit.
No, because I remember somebody back in January said that the business of gaming is changing. All this stuff is about to change, and people was trying to cook my ass for saying that. And here we are in August, and guess what? The business of gaming is changing, whether you like it or not. And to your point, we the old heads. I grew up on the 2600 and the NES and all that stuff, right?
That's a fact.
It's not that era anymore. My kids, I got grown and teenage kids. We can cuss, so I'm gonna just say it. They do not give a fuck about Xbox and PlayStation.
Yes.
That's what we're waiting
I'm just
for.
telling you, they don't have no brand loyalty. Like I keep trying to tell these cats that there's this brand loyalty stuff that people love to argue about on Twitter instead of playing games doesn't exist with the new generation. They don't care.
No.
They just want to play good games. They don't give a shit where it's at. It could be on a tablet. It could be on a phone, a console, a PC. It could be on the goddamn refrigerator. They don't care. That's what I keep trying to tell people. So, because people love to tell me, oh, you're just towing the PR company line of what Xbox tell you. No, the fuck I'm not. I'm paying attention to what's going on.
Right.
That's what I'm doing.
Yo, listen.
And are you
clearly,
sure you weren't in one of Howard's focus groups over there talking about playing on the refrigerator?
I might have been, maybe, but on the real, being serious for a second. No, I mean, to the point. I know we kind of beating it to death, but as we go into the next, yes, there will be a PlayStation 6. There's going to be some form of an Xbox, but think about it beyond that. We're going to be in the 2030s at that point. People like Phil and Herman Hulst and all that, they're going to be retired. Maybe a Sarah Bond is still around running Xbox and where they're going, but the leadership and the landscape of where game is going is going to be a completely new generation of people that are pushing where we're going. And we're already seeing the old console sitting under your television. That's the old way. It is changing. So business wise, what's the smart thing to do? Put your games in as many places as you possibly can to make money. That's what it's all about. And that's what Xbox is doing. And Phil, I find it funny because Phil is literally telling people this, but they're like, no, they can't do that. God damn it. I can't have Indiana Jones on the PlayStation. I'm sorry, but it's going to happen. Guess what? Starfield going to be there. Forza going to be there. Halo going to be there. They're all eventually going to be there because they're putting their games everywhere to make money. They just almost invested $100 billion in this stuff. You really think they're not trying to you think Amy Hood is looking at Phil going, no, it's okay if we don't get that money back. We're good. Hell no. She just like, you better make this money back.
Right.
And that's what Microsoft making. When all I said was focus on the game.
Industry changes so fast. I was like, not even
the industry. It's the fact that Xbox has changed. Look, ABK changed the game. It's just the way it is, right?
It's
Microsoft now.
They're forging a new path, and they don't know where it's going to go. Why? Because they can't copy somebody else's formula. They're making the formula as they're going along. That's the problem, and people aren't comfortable with that.
I look at it.
You're just gonna have to accept
I look at it this way. This is the classic example, just to give you a day in the life of me online. So what people love to do is they love to pull receipts from 2020 and 2021 of things that I said then. But I will remind people, Phil Spencer himself in 2021 responded in public questioning if I was sitting in one of their meetings, because how the hell do I know about their strategy with Bethesda exclusivity and all that? And then he went on that roundtable and literally said what he said about, exclusives wherever Game Pass lives, blah, blah, blah. That was 3-4 years ago. Clearly, because of ABK and just where the industry has shifted, that is no longer their strategy. And that's what people need to understand. Shit changes. It just does.
They don't like change, Paris. They like we was talking earlier. The old regime, when we grew up, it was a brand loyalty. It was a game loyalty to a brand, right?
Yes.
And as much as I don't want to see my favorite game, Halo, on PlayStation,
yes,
I'm a little uncomfortable with that. But see, I'm also 52 years old.
Yeah.
And we grew up with the brand loyalty. And like you said, your kids don't give a damn. They just want to play the game because nobody cares that Fortnite is everywhere. Switch.
Most kids are playing PC, games that are on all platforms.
Right.
Yeah.
Look at Roblox.
Look,
it's a platform.
What's
Roblox,
awesome?
Fortnite.
You know what I tried one day? I got over $800 in characters for Fortnite. I said, let me see what it looked like on my Switch. Just out of curiosity. Everything transferred over. I was like, this is hot. Just because all my stuff I spent on Xbox was there. Nobody cares. And it's getting to the point where... God, I'm sorry.
No. Please finish your thought. I'm sorry.
So it's getting to the point where we have to mentally change. The people say, oh, the war is over.
Are we going to get left behind?
We go to these events. You don't see no wars. You don't see none of the stuff that happens on Twitter.
Oh, I got a lot to say about that.
And then when you see one of us and you looking up at the sky and the sun disappeared, you definitely don't want to be fighting God of War. You don't want no Kratos work. There's no war. It's only on Twitter. But, it is, man.
It is.
It's ridiculous.
But to your point, like you brought up Fortnite and how literally whatever device you pick it up on, all your stuff is there.
That's right.
What do you think Xbox had been building up since 2017? I think they started Xbox Play Anywhere, right? What do you think Ubisoft does now with all their games? Those saves, all that progress transfers over. What do you think CD Projekt Red does with all their games? All that they don't give a shit when you're playing it.
That's right.
It just transfers with you, right?
That's what I mentioned on multiple podcasts that Lemon can pull up. Is that I said that Microsoft has been planning like cloud and streaming for over a decade, because I said they were the first one to introduce cloud saves way back on the 360 in 2011. I was like, and then what happened when the Xbox One generation came? Your cloud saves and you have local saves. I was like, it follows you anywhere you sign in, no matter what. Your save ad is always there. No paywall. It's all completely there. And then they built up those cloud servers, and now guess what? Now we have streaming and being able to play on any device. I was like, they've been planning that for over a decade, whether people were expecting it or not. I was like, it's been in the works in some form.
Yep, agreed. And let me
go ahead.
Let me say this one other thing, because you brought up one point, just made me thinking about you go to events, you don't see nobody console warring. I want to flip it onto the other side, because I saw Stein catching a bunch of shit online the other day because he had on a PlayStation jacket or something when him and a friend were like out at Disney World or whatever. Again, it's his personal account. He wear the fuck he wants.
Right.
But the point that I made on that one was they're all friends. See, I've been lucky enough to have met a lot of these people in real life and talked to them privately. They're all friends. They work for PlayStation, they work for Xbox, whatever. But the dirty secret about this industry is they all root for all of them to win. They all want their games to succeed. So, and it was funny because then I started seeing comments from various developers and stuff like that, and they're all like, "Yeah, I got this from the Nintendo thing. I proudly wear their Nintendo jacket, and he works for PlayStation or the Xbox or vice versa." It's because we're the only dum-dums that argue about this brand loyalty shit online. Yep. They don't.
You know
They're
what,
just trying to make good games.
You know what, Paris? Being that I'm a smaller content creator, but I keep telling people this is a small channel that do big things. I'm in the room with the good people and the right people. And when I've been saying, listen, this console war that y'all be talking about, Phil don't be fighting. He don't be fighting with Jim Ryan. They sit down and have dinner after these conferences. It's y'all that be talking crazy. Because it's really not like what you think. It's a competitive business, just like an NBA, just like any sports. They're competitive, but ain't nobody trying to go outside and kill each other over these consoles.
No. They all hugging each other after the game and switching jerseys.
Acting crazy. I was told in the beginning, Lemon, you got to pick a side. I said, well, you need to make a channel and do what you need to do. I play games.
So like I could give you the perfect example. I was at DICE. I've gone to DICE like the last couple of years, but I was at DICE this year, right? And that is a industry-wide event, developers, all that stuff. You'll literally see Todd Howard talking with Yoshida or whatever, right? It's like everybody's together talking, they're colleagues, they're trading ideas, they're looking for new things. It's not about like the PlayStation guys on one side of the room, the Xbox guys on the other side of the room, and they looking at each other like it's, the Crips and the Bloods. That's not what it is.
It's not.
And like you said, it's a business, of course. It's about making money, man.
Yep.
PlayStation needs Xbox in the industry just as much as Xbox needs PlayStation in the industry, and all of them. Because if you don't have an Xbox, if you wouldn't have a PlayStation, the industry as a whole is going to suffer, and they're not making money. That's what I keep trying to tell people. It's like people love to argue with me and say a bunch of crazy shit to me online. And I'm telling you because I am talking to these people and they're telling me this is how it is. And you ain't. You just online mad because you want to defend a brand that don't know who you are.
They know a lot. They know a lot from that couch.
Yeah, a lot, a whole lot. But to your point, this is why I tell everybody, get off your couch, go to these events, meet these people, do the face-to-face stuff. That's how you learn and understand what the industry really is all about. You know what I mean? Obviously, like Hargy, we was all at Summer Game Fest, all that stuff. It's like, go to that stuff, man. Go to, like, I'll be at PAX next week. Go. You know what I mean? Understand, educate yourself on how this industry works. The whole point of it is supposed to be us playing games, having fun, them doing cool, innovative new shit that we get to enjoy, right? Instead of the stuff that we see online all the time where people are arguing about. And again, I know you're going to get into it, but I'm just saying now, like I see the fucking cheerleading that's been happening that Concord is failing. Like that's the dumbest thing ever to me.
Right.
It's like, trust me when I tell you, you don't want that game to like it. Look, at this point, it is what it is. But people celebrating it, that's ridiculous to me. Because the end result, here's what's going to happen. Concord fails. Firewalk goes away.
Yep.
That development team gets laid off. Now they scatter out and got to find jobs somewhere else, right? Some of them say, screw this gaming industry, and they go into tech and they're not even making games anymore, right? PlayStation sees that. They had a huge loss. Well, we ain't taking a risk doing that no more. Put out The Last of Us Remaster Part 312. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what's going to happen. And then people are going to complain that there's no more innovation in the industry. Why we keep getting these remakes? Why we keep getting these remasters? It's because when a game fails like that, it hurts the entire industry. So no, you should not be happy when a game fails.
No.
And I'm not saying that, you look, the game is what it is, right? I'm not saying go support a game even if it's bad, but to celebrate it being bad is ridiculous, is my point.
It's pathetic.
And this happens on all sides, by the way. And
and it does. But see, look, I'm going off today because I don't care. Because that's another thing people need to understand about me. Because obviously I do a lot with Xbox. I'm not dumb. I get it. But people seem to think that that's, you're the new one with me is you're the Xbox ambassador. It's like, no, dumb. I like games, period. I don't care. I literally don't care. Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, Ubisoft. It does not matter to me. I just want fun games. Period.
That's
Here's
right.
the thing, Paris.
That's right.
If those same folks got invited to the same stuff you get invited to and they do the same damn thing. They just complaining because they.
Oh, don't get me started because I forgot. It's right over here. I forgot to have a yellow chair. It's like literally right there off the camera.
It's the struggle of a beautiful chocolate man with a bald head. But you know, on that, since we talking about that, because like I was literally in a Twitter Spaces yesterday. It was so funny because I was sitting in Twitter Spaces anonymous, right? Like just listening. And all of a sudden my name popped up and this dude was talking shit. So I was like, oh, really? Pop right up. And I came up. I'm like, why are you talking about me this way? As if like people talk like I'm not a person. Like I'm just this thing to criticize and say whatever. It's like, no, I'm a real dude. And I do not think I'm better than anybody. I really don't. That's why I go into a Twitter space. That's why I go on podcasts. That's why I lurk all the time, because I don't think I'm better than anybody. I have an opinion just like you do. You don't have to agree with me, but people love to get out of pocket and start talking crazy shit online. And then Hargy, you go to Summer Game Fest, they want to hug you and be your best friend. It's like, that's ridiculous to me. It's like, treat people the way you want to be treated.
That's a fact.
That's all. I don't disrespect nobody. I just give my opinion.
I just don't like social media, man. It's this kind of like distance thing where like you just dehumanize somebody and take your venom and then spew it. And it's like, come on. Like if you were face to face, would you do this?
No.
Like, this is why I do not go after. Calm down.
Technically, these people that's pushing these companies don't even know your.
It's crazy.
Even though they're competing.
Right. But I will say something too. The reason why a lot of these people act like that, like you said, because we're on.
They're talking too much. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. E3 2019, me, Megatron, and King.
Really
Only time I seen gaming get really violent, 42nd Street or underneath 34th Street, underneath the garden. We used to play in the train station, and you put your quarters on the dash for neck. We don't do
Louisiana.
that, right? No, I don't insult nobody, and neither do half the people I deal with. But on Twitter, y'all some real killers.
So I give you a funny example that happened today. So
you got the best
I was at that Xbox Gamescom thing in LA, right? And I got some capture footage from there, like Towerborn and some other stuff, right? So I hadn't even looked at it because like it was like they had the set equipment already. They just say bring an SD card, you plug it in, record, you capture, you take it home, right? So all right. So I had my SD card I brought. So this morning I finally had some time. So I was like, all right, let me review my footage. I'm gonna edit some stuff up. I might make a couple videos, right? My footage was corrupted. I was like, oh damn, right? And immediately I go, it's probably my fault. Something with the SD card because I brought my own. I didn't take one from Xbox or whatever, right? So I just said in all caps with the Homer gif, like Homer was like saying "fuck," right? Making fun of myself. I see a quote tweet from this random dude who in his bio was saying he was a former Xbox dev and a former PlayStation, some silly nonsense, right? Telling me that it was my fault because I didn't do backups and I didn't check the stuff at the thing and basically my audience needs to do better, right? I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? So I responded and I'm like, bro, you don't even know what you're talking about. You weren't there. You couldn't make a backup, right? And I go, and you taking your little pot shot at me. It was like, basically like, who are you anyways, right? And then he's just on and just saying all this crazy stuff. And I was essentially like, you were saying this because you are trying to be a content creator. You see me, you probably think I don't deserve whatever I have, right? So let me take a shot at him and try and make him feel bad because I'm jealous. Like I get that shit all the time and it makes no sense. It's like you went out of your way to be disrespectful over some shit that you weren't even there. You don't even know how it went down. Right.
Oh, Lord.
And it's just like, that's the stuff that kills me more than, and the last thing I even said to him, it was like, I was like, you clearly want to be a creator in this gaming space. I go trying to talk down to and being disrespectful to a fellow creator. That ain't it. All the creators I know in this space, we all root, again, just like the devs, we all root for each other. We all want us to succeed. Like it was so funny at that event. I got to see Maddie Plays for the first time in person, right? And I'm like casually online. It was like they argue because I know Argy's has been there in person, but he knows, man. He's seen it in person, man. That's why I love to do this stuff. Is the in-person stuff, man. It's not about this nonsense that you see on social media.
I can't take it, but
I
can't. I just
I'll point this out too because we keep bashing this. Is that like
I'll be like
95% of people are good. Okay.
Yes.
It's a small percent of annoying
very
people.
small.
Right. That makes it bad for everyone. Right. But 95% of people are the good. Like they will meet you and greet you and be happy and like they won't like complain and whatever. They might have opinions about you, but they're like, yeah, okay, whatever. They're talking.
I mean, look at us.
Right?
I was like, I think people fail to forget is that one, gaming is something that unites all of us, and we all come from different backgrounds. I was like, look at Lemon. Lemon is a basketball player, real big in New York. He comes from a hip hop background, hanging out with a lot of artists and stuff out there. I was like, look at G and everything that he does. I was like, and then you look at me. I was like, I'm a gothic punk from Texas. I was like, but when we all got together back at E3 in 2018,
yeah, nobody cared you wore eyeliner and had your nails painted. We just accepted you.
Exactly. But the thing is that we all have the same passion. We all have the same conversations. I was like, that's what it is. Exactly. I was like, that's the thing is that
facts. We didn't
social media has created an echo chamber of people want to be negative, so they're gonna just attract more negativity. When you have people who are like G or like you Paris or you Lem or any of us, I was like that try to spread positivity, be open-minded, be like forward thinking about where things are. People don't like that. I was like, they want to either say, hey, I only want someone who's going to agree with what I say or be as angry as I am about X, Y, and Z. And that's what it's turned into. I was like, yeah, you have people that can break that, but it's very minuscule because that's not what gains traction.
Facts. All right, let's move into these topics, man. That was a great talk.
No,
but
it was only an hour.
Listen. I love when people talk real. I don't want to hear no BS, man. Don't kiss each other behind and just let's just be gamers because we all.
Let me say one more thing. One more thing, then, before we go into the rest of the show about that. That's one thing I think people don't understand about me. Like, and I'm gonna just say his name as an example. Like, Gaz loves to fuck with me a lot about being a positive person, right? And I'll fuck Gaz up if I ever see him. I won't, for real. I love Gaz.
First of all, he's smaller than Hoggy.
And that's my point. That's my point. He like 2 feet tall.
He like a hobby. That's my man,
I'm the same size as Hoggy. It's okay.
No. He's always talking shit online. But
facts, that's my guy.
But he represents something I get a lot. Like, oh, you're always so positive. Oh, it's faker. It's like that. It's like my thing is like, do you want me to be an asshole? Because I could be an asshole. See, people don't seem to understand.
Right.
I am from South St. Petersburg, Florida. If you want to go dive in the mud and go there, we can go there. But I don't want to. I'm grown. I've been there, done that. It's like I do want to talk about the positive things of the industry. I do want to have fun. I do want to have a forward-looking outlook to it. It's like, why does everything have to be an argument? Everything has to be negative. I don't want to do that. That's ridiculous to me. And then, look, I'm going to just keep it real. I'm 6'3", about 230, 240, depending on the day. I don't want to mess with nobody, but trust me, you see me, you ain't trying to mess with me either.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
It's go to that video, that bench pressing. We know what you do.
Folks in the South are nice for a reason. They're nice for a reason.
Listen, but look, what I was saying was, hold on, Blade. What I was saying was, I come from a generation when I had the Genesis, somebody had Super Nintendo, and vice versa. We went to each other's house and played the game that the other people couldn't afford.
Facts.
Next door, right?
Exactly.
And nobody with the negative stuff. There was no. I may have been a Sonic fan. You may be a Mario fan, but guess what? I want to play Mario tomorrow. You can come by and play Sonic today. That's what we did. All this dooming and glooming, this disrespecting with each other. I just think it's crazy because it's supposed to be a hobby that we enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Does it feel like it's more toxic now? Like, and it's probably the same generation of people. Right? Because when we were kids,
because of the internet,
didn't care about this that much. I picked the Nintendo, but like you said, my friend picked the Sega. But we just went to each other's house and played the fucking game.
Brought it over.
Like, who cares? I just want to play games.
Nobody cared.
I bought the NEC TurboGrafx and then somebody will buy the Genesis. Like, okay, cool. And then we can just go to each other's house and play the games. Right?
Best of both worlds.
I don't know what happened And it's our generation that's now so toxic about like Xbox versus PlayStation versus Nintendo versus PC, and it's like just play the
future is
people that to have fun, but
only people that don't care is the Nintendo people, and I'm a Nintendo fan. I got about 40 cartridges.
I have my Nintendo.
Right, like you don't hear Nintendo people going online talk about anything. They don't care.
Before we continue on, we got some super chats.
Go ahead, finish. Get to them, because I want to get to these other.
So first up, I was like, this one goes to Yobi. He posted it up a while ago, and I saw it. I was like, so shout out to him for that $5 super chat saying, I'm going to say this. Would love for Xbox to keep bringing Paris back for future Flight Simulator things. He is Mr. Flight Simulator. Beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, that was some real carte blanche helicopter treatment, too. That was nice.
Yeah, that was. I like that flight jacket that you got. I was like, that was nice.
Aviators and all.
That was nice.
Real clean. And then shout out to Sir X-Men too. I was like that old man with the $2 super chat because he's broke in the home. Said, love my new vehicle in Starfield. Thank you, Bethesda.
Nice. Yeah, I think that vehicle idea was cool. But listen, man, I want to talk about a game that came out of nowhere, and I'm just gonna say this. This is petty. I don't care if Avowed is 30 frames, but don't say it's 60 and it drops to 20 and y'all agree with that. I'm just saying. That's bad. But Wukong has hit 10 million. Now, Paris, 3 days. 2 platforms. This is big. Is it the most innovative game? Nah. It's a straightforward action RPG. Mm-hmm. How do you feel?
Super chat.
Oh, wait, hold on. I must be missing. I'm like, what the hell? I said funny. I know.
Super chat.
Oh, all right.
Yo, shout out to Dirk Griggity with that $5 super chat saying, I'm in the gym right now. I'm being tired of that bunch of subscribers call me Fat Paris.
That got me. That's funny.
Oh, man.
I was like, why is Paris breaking right now?
I was like, wait a minute. I didn't say a joke yet. What the hell? Got to be something.
I gotta admit though, I can't wait to meet Dirt in person, man. That's gonna be epic. I cannot wait. That's a funny dude.
That's another channel I love going on there and acting crazy. That's my man. Him and Sean. Shout out to TTS. So 10 million sold. Wukong. Talk to me, Paris. Is this China's statement game to say, listen, we in the building now. What's up?
I think so. And it's not Chinese. I think they're Korean, but that Delta Force Hawk Ops, that's another one too, man. This Asian market.
But hold on, let me say something with that.
Hold
on, bloody. Hold on. Let me say this. You can't release the demo on PC or the beta with no controller support. And it's coming to consoles. I'm not a keyboard and mouse guy. I got a monster PC. I'm like, yeah, I love Battlefield. I'm hyped. No controller support. I said, fail.
You know that Adam Silver meme about the NBA? You better learn Chinese, buddy. That's what they just told you. You better learn how to use a keyboard and a mouse.
Nah, man. I'm never converting. I got big ass hands. My fingers be cramping. They don't got mice that come in my size. I'm sorry.
Nah, but back to the original point with Wukong. Oh yeah. I think this is showing that the Chinese dev market is here to stay, and they're going to have an impact, because if you make a game that obviously appeals to the Chinese market, but also appeals to the rest of the Western market as well, you're going to get 10 million in 3 days. That's what we're seeing.
Well, the Monkey King is a win-win. We love it. We love the movies. Absolutely. We love the animes. They had an indie side-scrolling 4-player beat 'em up. Yeah, that
story.
Yeah, that story.
We had a game of it back on the 360. Does anyone remember Odyssey: Slave to the West? I was like, that was like a sci-fi version of the Monkey King story, which I loved.
Yeah, I'm really into it. That's all you had to chime in on that, Paris?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, you know what's so funny? I haven't played it because I didn't review it. I remember I saw the review code come through. I was like, yeah, you can take it. I don't need to play it. And then I got FOMO like a mug. I was like, oh damn, I should have got it. But I'm gonna pick it up.
I'm gonna pick population. Let's start getting those in, right? At least we get those in. This is a big way to start that. I like that. China's been doing this with Tencent. They have it, game. I know people don't like it, but I say, like, when I say God of War, I'm like, all right, how many times am I gonna see Greek gods, Roman gods, Norway, like the Norse gods? I'm like, I'm tired of it, dude. I come from the East. There's an entire planet out there of stuff we have not played, and I want to see that. Like, why aren't we going to these regions?
Facts.
Right? And that's what I want.
If I could jump back in real quick, because Harky just brought up a great point. Microsoft has a great program called Gamescom that they've been doing the past few years. I was a part of it a few years ago when they did Gamescom New Orleans, but they did like a Gamescom Atlanta. They've done some stuff in Europe, but this year they just did one in Africa as well. And that's the whole point of what you're talking about is get more of these, more parts of the world involved in game development, and you get exactly different ideas, cultures, perspectives.
Right.
And you know what? I was like, I have seen that, Paris, because shout out to Junch, who runs their Southeast Asian division. I was like, cool. That is something that he has been working on with helping to bring in a lot of the Southeast Asian devs. You're talking Taiwanese, you talk about Thai, you talk about South Koreans, all that area so untouched, and a lot of great games from genres that people want. I was like, especially like the horror side, I was like, there's a lot of great folklore out there in Southeast Asia that's perfect for that genre and more. And we're seeing more coming out. So it's great to see that we're really starting to become really multicultural with the way that we start seeing stories from different regions.
But think of it this way. Think of it this way to kind of give you a different perspective, but really it's kind of the same thing. Sports, right? Basketball. What did we just see in the Olympics?
We seen
the rest of the world has competing. Rest of the world is catching up. Think about something like a South Sudan, who Luol Deng is cultivating now. When they really go into Africa and start getting those players into professional basketball, it's gonna be a fucking wrap.
They was competing.
Yes.
It ain't like the first team when they beating teams by 80.
like think about it. 2028, we in trouble. We in trouble in 2028.
For sure.
Because LeBron and Steph and all them gonna be retired.
That's right.
Well, somebody else will come up, right?
But finish, Huggy.
So like taking that to the other part of it is just like, yes, it is about games coming from those areas. It's also about the mentality, right? So just think about America, right? And America, like New York, is different than Florida, is different than Boston, is different than LA, is different than Chicago. That's one country. Now imagine that across the planet, right? Things that we think about, like daily life, things that we like, how you do certain things, birthdays and funerals and all. These are things that are just different country to country, like normal things that you do every day, things you celebrate, how you do daily life things. They're just different, and we don't think about that. So when we have a game that's set in Egypt, it's people outside of Egypt going to Egypt and saying, "I'm going to make a game," instead of having Egyptians make a game about themselves. That's what I want to see, right? All this of Kinzara's
Tales of Kinzara, right? Yep.
Because he was from. We drive a lot, but I want to see other cultures
made by a Mexican team about
hopefully more from other countries, other areas of the world, and bring those. Sony recently had in their Vision thing that they're doing 4 or 5 games, I think, in India, which I was like, that's awesome. So that's cool. So now we're going to have that content available to me at some point, whenever those games come out, right? So I applaud them for doing that. And Microsoft going out to Africa. Yeah, exactly. We need more of that. I want to see a lot more of that. So I'm hoping in the next decade we are bringing games, AA, AAA level games from a lot of the different regions of the world, and we finally get representation of different mythologies and different things.
Right.
I want Australia to make a breakdancing game.
European.
No, don't do that.
Australia needs to make a breakdancing game. Definitely.
Can we have it based? Can we have it based in Australia though?
With ray gun?
Yeah.
Neck base.
You know what? I want all my minutes and hours back from watching that.
She should be put in jail for that. She should be put in jail. For how they manipulated her to get into the Olympics. That's ridiculous.
It looked like she had arthritis. I'm sorry.
It's sad. Do you think that's ever
her whole
coming back?
body just was terrible.
Do you think that's ever coming back to the Olympics?
No.
No. They automatically said in LA it's not going to be there in Los Angeles.
Nah, come on, man. Come on. Okay.
That kind of sucks because it really is like it could be considered a pretty good athletic thing.
That performance sucked. We not.
But
doing that.
her,
we not sugarcoating. That was crazy.
Oh no!
No, we know that. We know that she sucks. We're saying that it
But
sucks
the
that
rest of the
breakdancing isn't coming
folks there
back.
were not bad. Right? The other people there actually were competing.
You know
with
when
people.
there's, sometimes somebody ruins it for everybody.
That's exactly what
That's
it
what
is.
she did.
Yeah. It ain't
They was
coming
like,
back.
Nah.
And it'd be nice to have it in the home of breaking, but United States. But here's the problem: you're never going to have the best of the best in the Olympics when it comes to breaking, because it's always been underground. And
it's a New York thing. Let's just
videos.
say it. It started in New York, and then it expanded to everywhere else. We're not.
Yeah.
I was like,
I say, but there's very few
waste.
cultures that actually like really care about it the same way that they do. Because you know what, a lot of like Asian countries love breakdance, and I was like, they really adapted to the hip hop culture. So
they wasn't.
Yeah,
they
that's what I'm saying. That's what I said.
They love the culture.
I've been to Japan.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Is that there's very few. That's what I'm saying. That there's very few cultures that
just love the culture like Japan did. I felt like we was in the United States as much as them fans enjoyed rap music. I thought it was great. But then you go to this Olympic thing, and I'm like, it's like, you ever seen that little meme? Get up, fat down. I'm not moving no more. Now I'm running again. That's what it looked like. I was like, yo, let me shut up. Let me shut up, man. Oh, let me shut up. Yo, listen. Super G, Wukong. Wow.
that's wrong.
Hey,
I never thought of it like that till just.
It's just special. Bro.
It's beautiful.
And when you get further than the first chapter, bro, it started looking kind of crazy graphically. Like I didn't see none of that in any of the reviews. It don't look as good as people were saying once you get past like the first, kind of like the mid of the second chapter, bro. It doesn't look as good as saying. So there's some things in there, and performance kind of goes crazy. So
no, the performance is definitely. They got to do some patching. You know what I'm saying? But the game is good, man. I love the game. I love what I played.
I'm not.
You know what I'm saying?
Not gonna, but I'm gonna tell you.
But, wait a minute. I didn't say nothing funny. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm gonna stop you right there.
Your chat.
Shout out to Ray G4 with that $4.99 super chat saying, "Can we get a Dirt and Paris tag team duo, the Black Towers?"
Wow. All right.
Hey, what? Wukong, 2 million. Good stuff.
I'm about to call Scrub Paris. Jesus Christ. Scrub, talk on this real quick so we can move on, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be real quick. Super G is right. How many times did you see the first Black Panther?
No, we're not doing that again.
No, just listen. I'm not saying the game is not bad, but when you tell a certain group story and you do it by the people who make it,
they're gonna support it.
They're gonna support it. That's why we're talking about, hey, we're gonna reach out to India. You got Xbox going in. You want folks to tell their stories, and when people see their stories told, they're supporting. Guess what that brings? That brings more eyes to your company, to your gaming console, to your gaming ecosystem. It's branching out. You're only going to get so much from the Japanese area. You're only going to get so much from the UK. You're only going to get so much from Europe or the United States. You're branching out, and when you tell someone if you came out and did something that was just the blackest of black person's story that really only touches black people, that they will really know the story deep within them, been passed down from generations, and you put that
Roots.
on, okay,
Roots, right?
You say like a little something, like if you say to a black person like, okay, we're gonna do a story about Anansi, the trickster god from Africa, tell a story, we know about the spider and everything of that nature. Black people, if they know that story and you bring something out and it draws on their heartstrings stuff, they're gonna go out and support it. And then if it's good, like say Black Panther, it brings in everybody else. So that's where you get that support. It's not just folks in China playing the game, but I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see it. And for it to get that much that quickly, it is some of, hey, we're supporting you for bringing out something. If you've watched Dragon Ball Z, everybody knows that if you watch Dragon Ball Z, you've seen bits and pieces of this story, just in a different format.
I'm a big Monkey King guy,
totally
man.
Different way.
I'm a Monkey King
So
guy.
for you bring that, a lot of people know that background. So if you bring a game talking about that background, you're gonna bring a lot of eyes to your game.
All right.
So
we're gonna get to the super chat, but I'm gonna say this, Yobi, what is wrong with you? Like, yo, what is wrong with you? Lord. Anyway.
With ray tracing. No.
Shout out to Legendary Joby for that $2 super chat saying dirt is just Paris with ray tracing on.
Yo.
Bro, that's when I lost it, bro.
Wait, is he saying because the light hits him and it's you seeing the glare and the
man.
What are we saying?
It's the fullest version of it, dude. He got path tracing.
Yeah, he got full ray tracing.
You can see the reflections. Is that what we saying?
He's saying you can see the shine and the sweat off the bald head.
Yeah.
Hey, that's why I gotta wipe. You gotta wipe the head every now and then because it gets shiny up there.
No Diddy. We ain't,
Oh no.
We're gonna move on. I'm gonna say I'm happy for
I
the
ain't
game
from
being
New York.
successful.
We don't say all that.
Well, New York, you have to because people start looking at you crazy. But listen, man, I'm gonna say I'm happy for the game being successful.
Yeah.
It's good. They only got 30 people as developers. 30. It's not it's not a huge team, and they did a great job. It has the bugs, but I don't know a game that releases without them nowadays. So, shout out to the team over there. Shout out to the support that they got. And hopefully, gets the Xbox and be in a good condition, and other players are brought into the ecosystem be able to play their game, man. I want to talk about another game because I heard Game Pass kills off revenue for games and it's bad for the business. So we're going to talk about Hellblade 2 and the huge success and Ninja Theory. Shout out to my squad over there. I interviewed y'all at E3. I love them dudes, even though it's Bleeding Edge, but we ain't going to go there. But another game y'all should have supported. Great online game, but, it's the generation. Should have made it free to play. Right, Paris?
Yeah.
But whatever. But Hellblade 2, huge success in Game Pass PC, sold well. Paris, what is your thoughts on that? Was you shocked to hear that came to come out with the success that it had?
Yeah, I actually was, because if you let the internet tell you it was a complete disaster, but clearly it wasn't, and it had some support, and that Ninja Theory is doing their thing. So good for them. And but you also have to remember, part of their financial success, whatever, is that excuse me, the capture studio that they built at Ninja Theory, which again goes into the game. That game is almost an advertisement for other developers to come in there and utilize that technology as well. So that helped them too. But no, good for them. Good for them. Like here's my thing with Hellblade 2, because I ultimately gave it like an 8 out of 10. My thing was it didn't do enough from a puzzle standpoint to challenge me. I never felt the game actually gave me anything to challenge my quote unquote skill playing the game. The actual story that it was telling and just all that, the performance, phenomenal. She's gonna get nominated with the Keeleys at the end of the year. Absolutely. Obviously, the tech that they were using with Unreal 5 to bring all that to life, phenomenal. But the gameplay itself and the actual puzzle elements should have been more. Really, that's all it comes down to. So hopefully the next thing that they do, they'll learn from this and be able to iterate on it more. But all right. We'll see. But good for them from a financial standpoint.
I'm gonna chime in on that a little bit. I hated the first game's puzzles. I just beat the first game this year, and I'm gonna tell you, I thought the game was good. You really didn't see nobody. It was more about the interaction, the environment, and the drama that the game brought. Right? I thought the puzzles was terrible. That's what deterred me from finishing the game, because I think they didn't go with the game. It just was like matching up a symbol with looking at trees that had formed branches. So I really wasn't into that. After I beat it, I'm supposed to start the second one. But now you saying the next one, the puzzles is easier than the first game? Oh yeah. I need to jump in then, because that was my whole
it's definitely easier because
they still keep the same.
You didn't seem lost
Yes,
like, where am I at?
I felt
What am I
lost in
needing
the first
to do?
one. I had to YouTube
No,
it.
they're easier. Yeah.
I was
Glenn,
like,
the way that they're
I'm a hardcore
the way
gamer.
that they're
I can't figure
easier.
this out.
See, the way that they're easier is there's one area where you're having to find this profit, right? And you're having to do these tests.
Don't tell me
No, I'm just saying is that the way that the puzzle presents itself,
Mm-hmm.
it's in a very straight linear area that you just kind of have to change your perspective. It's not like the forest in the first game where you're having to walk halfway back and forth around.
That was crazy.
Right. and try to find the right angle to find the crows and everything. It's not like that. It's a lot more accessible.
The voices are more helpful too. I mean, they're gonna talk about you like a dog. She's so stupid. It's right there. She can't see it.
Yo, listen.
But,
those voices are
I think that was one of the the parts that kept me interested. But them puzzles, man, they're walking back through empty areas and just looking at a tree and then it goes bling.
It's totally different. I mean, it's the same. It's the same thing, but it's a different little spin on it. I think it's well worth it.
Huggy, chime in, man.
Mm-hmm.
Success. Game Pass.
It's the same for
What's
me.
going on?
Yeah, success has slowed the game down, and I'm like, yes, I can solve it, but it's like, I got to do this backtrack here and this. No, it was kind of part of the flow. I figured them out pretty much immediately, right? So apparently, yes, they're easier. I agree, they're easier, but I think that made the game flow better, especially since it's a slow walking game, right? And it's like, well, I just want to kind of get my thing and then get the next thing that happens and the next craziness that happens. And like, there's enough interspliced combat. It was great. I liked it.
Okay.
So the game was great for me. I would definitely recommend playing the second one. Give it a chance. I walked away with the first one and I'm like, it was my least anticipated Xbox game. Like when they were announcing Hellblade 2 and it was coming out this year.
I bought that game twice too. I don't double dip. I don't double dip, bro. I don't do that.
So, but yeah, give it a chance. It's in Game Pass if you have it, right? So like, why not just
definitely
play
worth it.
Give it a chance.
Yeah. Okay, Super chime in, man.
Stop playing
I'm sorry.
So
All right,
that's it.
Super chime in, man.
Great for the financials.
I'm happy for the team. First of all, when I did the when I interviewed them in E3, they was very welcoming. And Paris will tell you, Hoggy to tell you, when you talk to devs, some people can't sell their game to you. They just, they just good developers. They don't really know how to articulate. Yeah. They're not really sociable. But them dudes were so warming. Some interviews I'm really like proud of because the interaction with them was like crazy. Like the developers at the Initial, right? That did As Dust Falls. They were so enthusiastic. That was
a very good game.
And me and Megatron, we did that in New York, and it was crazy. And the enthusiasm. So that's why I really like Ninja Direct. They're somebody. Ed Boon, I like to talk to a lot because they just so passionate about what they're doing, the projects, and that's what you need to give feedback. But go ahead, Super G, talk to me.
Nah, I mean, I agree with everybody on the panel on what they said. Like, it's just good to see that they're making money, and it was a success because most of the times we see these companies. Lately, we just see companies go out of business, bro, and that's never good. So like Paris said earlier, so
that's when I
talk. That's keep the lights on and all that good stuff.
Yeah. I try to keep it positive. We won't go too doom and gloomy, but Scrub, talk to me, man. Hellblade.
I don't know when people are going to realize that Game Pass is good for games. I'm sick and tired of people getting on here talking about, well, if it goes into Game Pass, they're not going to make any money. How many times we said this every time a game comes on Game Pass and it's a hit? First of all, if you want to buy the game, you can buy the game.
Yeah,
if you have it on Game Pass, you get you a 10% discount, okay? You try the game, you like it, you can buy it. All right. Second of all, we talk about every time one of these damn games come out, all right? It comes out, and they give you a chance to get it early and play it 3 or 4 days early. Guess what? You pay $20 or $30, however they did. Guess how many games people want to play early, especially if they're really excited about it, they play the $30. The game's originally $60 or $70, and now you just paid $30 on top of the $10, $15, $20 you pay with Game Pass, and you're making money. How do these people not see that this does not make money? it works. If it wasn't working, they would stop doing it or change it.
Facts.
How long has Game Pass been out? In the middle of the last generation up to now, okay? It's making something for them to not say, okay, stop. All of a sudden, we're not going to do first party. They went from having games on Game Pass to say, you know what? We're going to put our first party in there day and date.
You know, that's what grabbed me because I wasn't no Game Pass guy, and I had it for 3 years for free.
Right. Right.
I was like,
so now you're getting day and date. It's been day and date long. It's been there day and date long enough for you to see if there's a difference. The only thing they've changed with the day and date is, hey, pay a little extra. You get the game extra, or you get the little perks. Look at with PC with Starfield, it worked.
Yeah.
Starfield, it worked. It worked for Hellblade. It worked for every game, big release
Forza.
that they've had lately. Forza, you paid, Forza and Forza Horizon 5. All of those games, you could play it for 3 days earlier for $30, or say, all right, it's $70, but I got it in Game Pass. If I want the $100 version where I get all the perks, I pay the $30, and you get all this extra stuff for less than paying the $100. If it wasn't working, eventually you would have seen something, but they're just steady adding. Just like I said with Call of Duty, just because you have Game Pass Ultimate, it's been 200 plus years
it's
now.
Crazy.
I don't know why they won't move it. You like a free download like X Defiant. It's free to play, but you're buying stuff on there. Xbox gets their little cut because you're on the service. Call of Duty, you tell me, like I said earlier, you tell somebody, I don't have to pay the $100 for this game. Now I might have extra money to buy cosmetics. I can buy the season pass. I can spend this. Most hardcore Call of Duty people, just like you said, Lemon, you spent how much money on characters in Fortnite?
Over 800.
Exactly. A Call of Duty player, a hardcore player, usually spends close to $300 in a year. So they're making money. Yes. Oh, it's been subsidized by ABK. That's the only reason. That's why they bought it, stupid. That's why they bought it.
Damn.
That's why they bought it. It's just like, oh, you're only dunking because you're tall. Hey, that's what I got. That's what I'm going to do. Okay? That's what I got. I'm not going to.
If I was 8
I'm
inches
tall, I'm a dunk. Thank you. If you were my height and my athletic ability, you would be trying to dunk too. It's just sour grapes, and people want to have something to say. Like I said earlier, these people who are using these arguments are usually people with the gaming systems are moving away from them, and they're holding on for dear life of a system of a company that does not care about you personally. It doesn't. I'm not saying they didn't care about their gamers. They care about gamers as a whole.
Yeah, not.
But you're saying, well, I know I'm ranting, but he's like, well, I have all this disposable income. They should be catering to me. Hey, stupid, remember when you were saying when you were a little kid and your parents bought you the Nintendo or the Sega and you had all those games under the Christmas tree, how happy you were? Well, these parents are spending disposable income on their kids as well.
Thanks.
So they're trying to get to these kids. The deal is good. Guess what? The next big Xbox first-party game that's going to drop next is going to be the same thing. Because what happens to all these content creators? What are they going to do if they don't already have a code? What are they going to do? They're going to spend the extra money to get it early so they can stream and show their people.
All right.
And then other people are going to do the same thing. It's all, you're going to see this again and again.
Facts. All right. Well, that's going to lead into this. I thought this was crazy. Now, we know Xbox got day and date. So, about a week ago, I see games leaving PlayStation service.
Well, they do that all the time.
But Horizon's leaving.
First party. So.
Yeah, they've done that before.
So we'll go straight to you, Hawking, then Paris. What the hell? You paying? Listen, I do not subscribe to PSN because they don't do day and date. When they do that, I'll subscribe over there, right? But how can Horizon, your one of your premium titles, leave your service. Please explain that, Hoggy.
Not all of their games are even in the service, right? So they don't have the same thing that Xbox does. Xbox says all our games go in, and all our games go in day and date. And that is not the PlayStation stance on any one of their tiers. They could have made that premium tier more attractive by saying, hey, our games will go in 2 years afterwards, and so our entire back catalog will be available to you if you're on premium. They have not said that, right? So there's no guarantee that any of their games ever come to that service. If they do come in, they usually go in for 6 months to a year, maybe a couple of years, and they go out. That's the way it is. They don't do the same thing that Xbox does. But this is where competition needs to happen, right? This is where if they are pushed, they are going to have to compete. They're going to have to change their stance as well. And that's just better for consumers, right? There are some people who are stupid enough to say that we shouldn't push them to do that. But no, we should push them to do that. PlayStation should do the same goddamn thing, and they should put their games, even if it's not day and date, at least guarantee all your games go into your service. Right? Look, the consumer has decided they don't like your service. Why? It went down 49%, was it? Something like that a month ago, right? It's like, okay, well, the higher tiers, right? Well, this is the result. If you're not going to give them enough, they're going to leave. So if you want to maintain that, grow it, you need to give them something, entice them. And it's a simple thing to do. If you have an 8-year-old game, what are you doing with it? Are you making money on it? You might as well just put it in the service. Make it enticing for somebody to come in, right? If you have a new customer, and yes, there are new human beings being born every day. There are new customers out there. If you want to entice them, you say, look, your entire PlayStation catalog, sans the games that came out in the last year and a half, they're in premium PlayStation Plus. Go subscribe. You get all that catalog. Hey, you want to try out all the old like Sly Coopers? You want to try out the original God of War games? Like, hey, here they are. They're all here. Go play them, right? Xbox does that. If somebody doesn't know what Gears is about, it's like they have the entire catalog available to you. Just come over, play the entire Gears, original trilogy, and you want to play 4 and 5, and what was the one Judgment in between?
Right.
You want to play, Gears Tactics. It's all there. You want to play any of it? You want to see the story from the beginning? Here you go. You want to play Halo? Here you go. Right? They give you that option. Right? That's a good thing to have. And I don't know why PlayStation doesn't see that, but they don't see that. I would say that when you lose 50% of your customers, you should act. You should do something different and not remove games. Instead, try to find ways to put more in there to entice your customers to stay. But I'm not the one running PlayStation. What do I know?
Listen, I don't think anything first party should leave, but Yobi said this is the second time it left. That's what he said in the chat. Yep. That is that. Paris, what you think about this? You think if Microsoft did this, it would be a bigger deal? Because nobody really talked about this. They was real quiet when this happened.
So real quick, one heads up. I got like 15 minutes.
Okay.
And I'm have to dip out. Just heads up. But to answer your question, the reason Horizon is leaving PlayStation Plus, whatever the hell you say it, is because Lego Horizon's about to come out and is retelling that story. That's why it's leaving. So they want you to go buy Lego Horizon. So they don't treat, you got to remember, PlayStation does not treat PlayStation Plus. It is not held to the same standard that we hold Game Pass to for Xbox. So they don't have, there isn't any mandatory thing that says they need to put all of their first party games in there, and they can pick and choose when they decide something stays in, something stays out. Now, the second part of this is because you asked me about Xbox. So I had somebody tell me a long time ago, especially with these subscription services, and when you see things like, why is this coming in, this is leaving out, it always comes back to licensing. There's always something with licensing that happens with this. Now, obviously, first party would be different because you own it, but even in those circumstances, there may be some rare exceptions where there's some kind of license agreement in there. Say there's some kind of music in the game or something, and they don't want it in the subscription service, and you have to yank it out. But to your point, Xbox, again, is held to a different standard with Game Pass. No, you remove something out of Game Pass that is you consider first party, people are going to be upset about that, and then rightfully so, because part of the selling point of Game Pass is day and date. Now, they've obviously changed that a little bit with the standard tier, and now you got to basically pay Ultimate to get it. But you pull something out of that Ultimate tier now, people are going to go, well, why am I paying $20 a month?
Facts.
For something that I expect to always be there? So they would have to have an explanation as to why.
Right.
And to your point, Paris, as far as the licensing, we do have that problem with Forza, right? Forza Horizon.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking of.
Yep.
That was what I was thinking of.
Car licenses.
Exactly. So
And
Porsche or whatever.
music.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, licensing stuff they can't help. That's why we're never getting a remake to Def Jam Vendetta people.
Yeah.
Stop asking for it.
Yeah.
Too many licensing problems. Super G.
Somehow Phil would have did it, bro. Somehow Phil would have did it. The Series S would have did it.
He lied to us.
Damn, Elite controller did it. I don't know. Something.
It's not easy to come by at $300. I'm just saying. I really would like somebody to build a PC that's really comparable to that little piece of hardware.
That's a very great point because, like he says, anytime the game comes, know what she's doing. She's a snake and all. It's just like,
let me comment on something he just said because this is something that I know.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful what you wish for. Phil Spencer, I'm telling you now,
Facts.
Phil Spencer being there as long as he did, Xbox would be in a far worse place than it is today.
Him and his team
whether you like it or not.
He saved
whether
it.
you like it. Yeah. I've talked to enough people that work there that, let me put it to you this way. Of everyone I've ever talked to that works at Xbox, no one's ever had a bad word to say about that man.
Nope.
It's just truth. Just the truth.
You
may not like his business decisions and this and that or whatever.
Right.
But as the leader of that division, and think about it.
He's an awesome
and
dude.
a corporation, that's rare.
He is the longest tenured CEO of a gaming division that we have. There's a reason for that.
Paris, listen. You see the conversation we had before the show started?
Yeah.
That's why I was pissed off. I don't care with nobody. Oh, don't talk about this. Nah, we ain't. You don't do that. Not to him. The dude is solid. He's a solid individual. You could backstab him. Yeah. You're the problem.
Like King says, right? Phil Dominus Maximus.
Remember is that Phil is passionate about gaming, like actually
He's
passionate.
a gamer.
And
somebody please tell me Jim Bryan's gamer tag. Please. I'll wait.
I'm still trying to find out Yoshida's gamer tag.
I'll wait, and I'm not discrediting Jim because Jim's a great businessman.
Not only that, but is the fact is that he's worked up there. Like people fail to remember is that he started out as an intern.
That's right.
Like 20 plus years ago, and literally moved up to where he was. He was at the bottom of the totem pole, like where we all are.
Boy. Now he's the boss.
Look at Hargeet.
Oh wow!
That's exactly. That's how I hold my controller.
Yeah, I also hold it I also hold it at the very bottom with just my thumbs.
Listen,
that controller.
The last time PlayStation had a gamer at the helm, it was Jack Trenton. I miss that dude at PlayStation. I'm sorry. He was an awesome dude. He was a gamer. You want people. It's like I drive a bus in New York City, and they like to hire superintendents and GSs that never drove a bus for the bus division. You think when I go in that office and you try to explain a situation, you ain't never drove a bus? You can't. I've been at my job 20 years. What can you tell me with your 2 minutes behind the desk about what happens in New York City while I'm driving that bus? You got to put people in positions that, first of all, know what they're doing, that understand the business side of it, and passionate. That number stuff don't work all the time. That's why, we don't get into that later, but that numbers, man, it's a lot of problems with that. And I appreciate Phil. I don't agree with everything Phil do. That would just be crazy. Oh, I think everything he do, he's right. No. Aaron is the dude I really rock with. Hard body because he's just like us. But listen, Phil does a great job. And he believes what he's telling you. He's not just telling you something just because. And people don't get that, Paris.
Look, I will say this one thing, and I keep it minimal to not get myself in trouble, but the one time that I've interacted with Satya Nadella, and not that he was a very nice man, he gave off the impression of ruthless. I'm like, that's a ruthless dude right there.
Look at him. Even in
very nice man. Don't get me wrong. Very nice man.
He's about his business.
He's about his bottom line is the point that I'm making. So think of it that way. If Phil was not doing his job, Phil would not be in that job.
Facts.
Well, I mean, look, I mentioned it before. Look at the book that Satya Nadella wrote. I was like, he was literally not even the second, third, fourth, or even seventh person to be the CEO. He was like very bottom when they came to him, and he had to tighten everything up because he broke all the infighting. I was like, Microsoft was notorious for everyone in the C-suite and the executives fighting each other for trying to say who's the best and all this kind of stuff. He broke that. I was like, if you can do that, you have to be ruthless in some sort of way.
Think of it this way: the most profitable Microsoft has been under his tenure, right? Yes. The most profitable Xbox has been under Phil Spencer's tenure. So the bottom line is about making money.
So stop yelling for people to get fired. Yeah, because you don't know what the next guy gonna bring. Better take the good. Better take the good with the good.
But because I know I'm limited on time, so I ain't trying to tell you how to do. I knew it wasn't 60, but I wasn't. It's a preview, so I'm not even thinking about it. I'm like, whatever, right? I'm glad he asked, but if you go back and listen and watch to what the person was saying, they were like, "Hey, I may not necessarily be the right person to be answering this, but," and they gave their answer about the whole 30 frame stuff. Now, nobody told me shit. I'm just guessing. My guess. By the time you get to February, there's going to be a performance mode for 60 frames. That's my guess.
I'm still going to play at 30.
Which, by the way, and this is kind of my point. I played at 30. All the bells and whistles on, look great. Now, look, I'm probably going to play the shit on PC, so it'll be whatever for the frame rate. But even when I played on the Series X, like I played Starfield at 30 on the Series X, it was fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was complaining. You know what I'm saying? So... I know people like to use that for an outrage thing and a talking point and a blah, 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 blah. But again, old heads, look, old heads shit. And sometimes we playing at 10 frames per second, depending on the game.
Rainbow Six Vegas, 15 frames. Nobody cared.
What about Contra?
Nobody cared. The first Halo 30, Project Gotham, one of the most revered great racing games in history, 30.
Now, with all that said, one thing that I will take Xbox to task for is this hardware generation, world's most powerful console, the way they marketed this thing at the beginning. And look, I know what Aaron said is kind of taken out of context, but at the same time, the implication was this hardware is capable of doing 4K at 60 frames per second. That was the marketing for this generation.
Right.
Yep.
We know that is not truly the case. For any of these games, even on PlayStation, PlayStation, you have to remove features to get it at that 60 frames per second. You are not getting the. Yes. No. I'm just saying.
You got to double everything.
Yeah, exactly. And to the point with Xbox, with the Series S, and this is one thing that I think they need to just 100% amend. I have no problem with the Series S. It's fine. It's cheaper. My kids play on that damn thing more than they play on the Series X. But because of your own rules, your own parity rules, you are hurting yourself in the third-party market. And they already bent the rule one time for Baldur's Gate. You know that Series S is why Wukong's not on Xbox right now, too. That is a problem. Their own parity clause is hurting them in that case. Fuck the parity clause. Personally, let's get the goddamn game on there. Right. You should say our Series X is our flagship. We're going to make sure, hey, all this. If there's a feature that the Series S can't do, oh, well, it can't do it.
Right.
You let your customers know, but guess what? The game is on your platform.
Right.
That should be more important than to not have it on there at all. They're about to go 2 years in a row with the biggest game of the year not being on their platform.
Yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow.
That's a problem.
It's a tough pill to swallow, and even with the bells and whistles that it's on PC struggling with that game. It's not optimized great, right?
Well, part of that is Unreal 5. Unreal 5 is a mofo.
Yeah,
and people need to understand that too. Unreal 5 is a mofo. This hardware generation is not meant to properly run Unreal 5.
You don't see no games in Unreal 5 at 120 either. I keep telling people, you don't see nothing running at 120. Yeah, you could do Fortnite at 60, but if you put on that 120 mode, it goes back to the old engine.
Now,
look, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll put my money where my mouth is. I will bet anybody anything they want. When Gears of War E-Day comes out, there will be next generation hardware to go with it. I'm not saying it won't be cross-gen and won't be on the Series X, because it probably will. But I guarantee you, whatever that next Xbox is going to be, it will be out when Gears of War E-Day drops, because there is no way this Series X is going to be able to properly showcase that game the way the Coalition wants it to be, unless it's on PC.
And we know that the Coalition is the go-to for
they're the go.
They are the go-to for showing what Unreal Engine, and we talked about
even Epic use them.
Yeah, even when the creators of the own engine says you are our flagship, y'all are the devs who know how to run and showcase this engine, we want to go to you. That lets you know something. So if they want to push it to the max, they are going to want something that's going to be able to push it to the max.
And I'll say this to bring it full circle, because I gotta go, unfortunately, but when you think about Xbox and their hardware struggles and all of that, what's something that can get people to buy your hardware? A showcase title. That could be, you launch Gears with whatever their next hardware is, people will go buy your hardware to play that game.
But you know what they have to do? Stop supporting the old systems after 2 years.
They're not going to do that. And that's the other thing about this generation.
Because they could cloud.
Exactly.
Yo, this is ridiculous. They want
ain't nobody playing Call of Duty Black Ops 12 on the cloud. They play it on the hardware, and they're not going to abandon it.
When back in the days how we grew up, when the new system came out, listen, you better upgrade or you ain't playing. Yo, listen.
I thought that was the whole reason why they made the cloud accessible for certain titles on the last gen hardware, because the fact that she's like, hey, we're going to
matter. Going forward, you have to accept that this is the world we're in now. These are PCs. They're PCs, and they scale enough. And he said it, games scale, right? You have to accept that this is going to be the way, right? And until like the 50 million that are on PS4 abandon the PS4, games are going to come out on that freaking system.
Yeah,
because it'll play them.
And that started with PS3. But I have one question before you go, Paris.
Yeah.
This is one, I told you I missed you. There's some and the guys on my team out there, hip hop game and all them dudes, man. I was mad. I told you I was pissed off. I was frustrated. I still watch the content, but I was pissed. You played something that I need in my life. And I need you to give me something, just if you could talk about it, replaced.
Oh man. So I give you the quick story on that one. When I did the showcase in 2021, I saw it literally before anybody else, right? Because I got to see everything that was going to be in the showcase, like on a video, like on a laptop, right? Because they were showing me. And I remember when I saw it, immediately I go, oh, I got to play this. I got to play this. I got super excited about it. So I've been talking about that game ever since. So funny story. The devs, Sad Cat Studios, I've talked to a couple of devs, DMs over the years. They shared a little bit of private stuff with me. I didn't even know this. But when the Xbox set up the appointments for Summer Game Fest, they had like their own. Replace was one that was actually at Summer Game Fest where Keeley is. They gave me the very first appointment of anybody to play that game.
Let's go.
So when the doors open, so now here's the funny part. So when the doors open, there's kind of like a 30-minute before the appointment start period, right? Where everybody gets to go in.
Right.
Goddamn Andy, from Kind of Funny. Andy just walks over there to the thing. Hey, can I play this? That motherfucker played it before I did, and I had the appointment. so I had to sit there with him while he was playing it, and then I played it after. But it was funny because nobody from SadCat was there. Xbox was handling it. So then, again, I'll keep names out of it. One person I talked to over at SadCat, he reached out to me because he really wanted the feedback, and he was just telling me how nervous they were for people to play it outside of, the studio for the first time to get hands-on because they're not ready yet. And obviously they've delayed it even more now to 2025. They were affected by the Ukraine war, all that stuff. Right. What I played was solid, man. I enjoyed it. I did. I see where they're going with it. I mean, as you can tell, the art style of it's crazy. Off the charts. Crazy. Off the charts. Right. A lot of it's handcrafted too, which is wild.
I love pixel art. I love pixel art.
Yeah. But it's shaping up to be good. I mean, what I played, again, it's early. It was a little janky here and there, but I know it's early. But I'm all in. I can't wait for that.
You left there impressed.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people are going to be very happy with that game when it comes out. So the fact that they need a little more time to get it right, hey, take all the damn time you need as far as I'm concerned.
All right, well,
now I'm gonna give you another one.
Okay.
The competition. Hey, that Astrobot's gonna be good, man.
Oh, I'm an Astrobot fan.
That Astrobot.
When I got that damn controller.
yeah. When I played that at Summer Game Fest, I was like, ooh, this is good. This is gonna be good. I mean, I'm talking like Mario Galaxy good. That's how good this is gonna be. So people definitely be excited. That comes out in like 2 weeks, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. So yeah, it's gonna be good. But yeah, man, too bad you didn't come because it would have been nice to meet you in person. Because that was the first time I met King in person. You know, it was at Summer Game Fest.
I know, and you know what's crazy? I might do the Game Awards. I could do that.
Yeah, I'll be there.
That would be nice.
I could do that because that's way
I'll be
December.
there.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna try to pull up.
Yeah, that'll be dope.
I thought I had swine flu because I was hurt.
And so
I was sick watching y'all.
You mentioned Gerard hip hop. So you know hip hop.
I know hip hop for 17 years.
Oh, that's my guy. Hey,
my guy.
let me just say, yeah, man. Let me just say, for everybody watching, listening to this right now, always say something because it's like, nah, y'all don't know.
Listen,
the hustle and the work that dude does behind the scenes.
The last time he got disrespected, I picked up the phone and said, how you want to handle this?
Yeah.
How you want to handle this? Because
that's
crazy.
real.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
That's my brother.
He goes out of his way to help people.
Yes,
This is what I'm saying. This is where people don't know like how stuff really goes down behind the scenes. He helps so many people and he ain't looking for attention or acclaim or none of that. You don't.
Nope. He gets more. He gets bigger interviews than the biggest YouTuber you know.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
But you know that dude. He's been my personal friend for years. He been trying to get me into YouTube for like 10 years. He said, you need to do all this craziness in your house or you go to these events and you don't have a channel. I was like, ain't nobody gonna listen to me. I'm black and Puerto Rican. I'm a minority 2 times.
Yeah.
And he was like, bro, your energy is crazy. Just do it. So he's the reason I got into it.
No, that's real talk. The first time I met him was 2009 at E3, right? And I'll never forget, he got the belt and, he's loud, he's boisterous. Right. Yo, I thought it was all fake. I did. And I'll never forget, a couple years after that, I was on a phone call with him and I legit was questioning that. And he was like, yo, I am who I am, man. Yep. I ain't changing for nobody. And I've had nothing but love and respect for that dude ever since. And that's why I say anytime I see him is none but love.
Yeah.
And like I said, he is one of the nicest, kindest, most helpful people you'll ever meet. Ever.
He just mentored him Incognito on my channel. I got a young guy.
Yeah.
His father works with me. And he's going to school to be a developer. They both came through and mentored him. And he was like, here's this situation. Contact me. I will plug you with this, then, and third. That dude is awesome. Yeah. He's been like that, man. He's awesome, man. I love that guy.
He is. Yeah. So I just want to say that before I go out, man, because I think part of what, like, the fact that we're all here now, there's not enough of us doing this shit, man.
No, it's really not.
And I think that's part of what gets me the most is we fuss and argue amongst, and I'm just talking the overall gaming community. Right. But it's like, I wanted like people like hip hop and all that and Danny and Khalif, and I want to see more of us doing it, man. I do. I ain't gonna be doing this shit too much longer. I'm old. I'm ready to stop.
Nah, I want to see. You as old as you feel and look, and we don't look old. Or we don't feel bad.
There you go.
We're not doing that. We don't get old. We level up. It's a difference.
Yeah. No, I hear you. But nah, man. But on the real, it's like getting to meet Cog and like I said, finally meeting King. Like that again. That's what's so dope. And Hargy was there. I keep using Hargy. Hargy was there when it happened. Yo, I had never met King before in my life. It was like we known each other forever. Yeah. First time we met.
Yeah, that's my brother, man.
That's how it's supposed to be.
That's my brother too, man. That's what all of them dudes, man. We got the same gaming history. We shopped in the same places.
Yeah.
You understand? We real tight. And that's what people don't understand. They think it's an internet thing. It's really, really not.
Become family. Yeah. Like I'll say real quick before I bounce. That's like with me and Danny, man. I'm not doing this if it wasn't for Danny. God,
I want to get to meet him one day. He's awesome.
Yeah, you definitely do. But he inspired me. I reached out to him to learn about podcasting. He helped me back in the day when he didn't have to, and we literally built a relationship. Now, like we was just joking. The other day, I was like, man, I've known this motherfucker for 18 years. And it's like, it ain't friends no more. It's like, yo,
family,
yep. Kids. Like he's married and
yep.
That's real. And that's what people need to understand when it comes to all that stuff. This gaming thing can be more than just, we're playing video games. I mean, you can social media at Vicious696. Stay out of the comments. You don't want to go in my comments. It's chaos. But that's me.
It's definitely entertaining.
For you.
I'll be like, they be coming from my God. They crazy, but yo, thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. People give my brother a round of applause, man.
I appreciate it.
Finally getting you on here.
Yeah, we have to do it again for sure.
Yeah, you hard to reach, man.
I miss Paris. Oh man.
Oh, who's that? Oh. Who's that? Oh yeah. I'm glad you missed him because you're late.
Yeah, you're late.
You're a whole
next
like
time.
Late.
Yeah, next time.
I am. What's up, guys?
What's good?
Right. I'll see y'all later.
All
though.
right, bro. Appreciate you.
Later.
Thank you.
Take it easy,
man.
man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm gonna slide you in here in a minute. No diddy. So what's good, 3-bit?
Life, man.
I pulled up at your show last night. Your man was funny with them rabbit ears or whatever that was.
Oh, that's my boy Struggle. Yeah, he always dropping heat.
Yeah, that dude, he had me crying. So we're gonna continue on with the topics. We did that. Okay. Nvidia is allowing Xbox Game Pass sign-ins on their accounts. Now, if you're a Game Pass Ultimate member, you get to play one of the best services in the world for streaming, Shadow Play. Huggy, chime in on this, man. Then we're going to go to you, 3-bit.
Yeah, so I think the fact that it wasn't...
3-bit. Y'all, Pixel Bit, G, all three of y'all need to switch up. Go ahead, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't there already, right? So a lot of these services, they allow you to connect up, and I thought that was already the case. I haven't tried Nvidia Cloud. I don't care because I have a 4090. I don't need to play the cloud, so I just haven't bothered.
He's not capping. It's just what it is.
Yeah, right. So I haven't tried it, but that just seems weird that it wasn't there. This is great news. It should have been there to begin with, because that means you have to log in every time. That sucks. It's much better to just have it connected, like you're up and running, and then you just go in and it's like your game catalog is just there. You just play the games, right? That's a much better experience. So hopefully that's the way they'll do with the other ones as well. They have these partnerships with more than just Nvidia, right? And I'm hoping that you just connect it up and you're done and you don't have to worry about it.
Have you tried it yet?
Me personally, no. I
haven't either. I haven't even. Yeah. I'm not really a cloud gamer.
I mean, what am I doing with cloud? I literally I almost never play when I'm remote. If I do, I'm on my phone and I play like a solitaire or something like that. If I'm playing a game, I want to play on my 77-inch TV. So I've got the Series X, the Switch, and the 4090 PC. It's like I don't need cloud. It's just not for me.
Okay. Big Cloud.
Yes, sir.
Great show last night once again. I'm always trying to be in your comments as long as I'm awake. I pull up to the show. Did a good job. It was definitely entertaining. Talk about this, man. Looks like Microsoft is definitely trying to be everywhere, whether it's first party, third party, other platforms. They're trying to get everybody in gaming. That's definitely the digital future. So what did you think about this with Shadow Play and the Xbox sign-in?
Well, first of all, shout out to you, Bloody Nugs, Hargeet, Scrub Nurse, Super G. What's good to see everybody.
What's going on, man?
Yeah, your boy. I would have been here earlier, but your boy had to celebrate. I passed my qualification test.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Congratulations. You put that on Twitter. Congratulations, bro.
Yes, sir.
I love that.
So,
I love that.
You're
Shout
looking
out to
at
PK, too. He did the same thing. Shout out to PK, too.
Yes, sir. So you're looking at a future deputy sheriff. So that's why I'm just chilling. But anyway.
All right.
Anyway. Got that out the way. So good to see everybody in the chat. So for me personally, so this isn't really a surprise at all. Microsoft's been hell-bent on flat out putting it out there that they're selling you an ecosystem, not necessarily a console. That's what they want to do. So the fact that they are flat out telling you that, hey, yeah, it's even further than just a PC. It's even further than just, your console or your fire. You can now go to Fire Sticks, etc. So Microsoft really wants you to have a ton of options so you don't necessarily feel contained. Mm-hmm. That's basically what they're selling. They want to sell you the ease of stability. Well, I guess simplicity in a sense as well. You got your consoles for simplicity, but you also got Fire Sticks. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't like the Fire Sticks, you can also have another convenient way to take on a feature through your PC if you buy a pre-built. And that's another thing too, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of people are going to flat out get, a lot of people will flat out, will get a pre-built if they really want experience. Like me personally, I started off with a pre-built. And then I went and made my own when I knew what I needed and experienced myself with it. So, it's cool to have options like that. But that's really what it is. It's just options. It's another way. It's more ways of expanding your business, expanding your name, getting more players and getting, having more people interested in it. So that's basically what it is. And if you think about the way Microsoft handles Windows, right? Windows is not just locked to PCs. It's also available on the Rogue Ally, available on the Steam Deck. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing, same concept.
Okay. Super G. Oh, he's not there. Bloody, talk to me.
Yeah, Shadow and everything else, being able to play those high-end PC stuffs on and being able to just direct log in and connect your...
To me, man. Are we streaming together in Call of Duty, man?
Saturday night, yeah, late Saturday night after the podcast. When I get back in town, we're streaming Saturday night, streaming Sunday.
Okay.
When they stop us Monday.
Monday I gotta go work. But I'll do.
I gotta go work too. What's that? What's that?
Oh yeah, you gotta save lives. I just carry lives.
Hey.
We got some life saving.
We can take days off. I can move stuff around. No, I'm just joking.
I'm trying to save my days for the Game Awards.
Exactly. This is the thing. Xbox is selling the ecosystem. A lot of people still trying to stick with consoles. Xbox is selling the ecosystem now.
Right.
I just went to Best Buy. I went and got me a new monitor for the house. And on every computer screen in Best Buy had Xbox and Game Pass on it. Because, of course, they got Windows on.
I thought they don't advertise. Because that's what I heard. Exactly. Like, I heard that this week.
Exactly.
That they don't advertise Game Pass.
Newsflash.
I'm pretty sure.
Newsflash.
I see Game Passes on New York City buses on the side of it. We move 8 million people a day.
Remember when you used to go in Circuit City, shout outs, rest in peace, Circuit City, Best Buy, they have all them TVs, but they all playing the same thing.
That's right.
When I went to Best Buy, all the screen from the worst screen to the top of the line screen had a big old Xbox commercial, Game Pass, and then how Windows is integrated and you could play your Xbox by hitting the game. Hitting the icon, and then you could connect your phone with Windows to the screen, and you'll be answering text messages while you're playing the game. And guess what? After you passed all those screens, there was ROG Ally on sale. Beautiful screen. That was the first time I saw the ROG Ally screen.
Oh no, it's
just
amazing.
In person.
Yo,
that screen is amazing.
Yo,
guess what was on that screen? Guess what was on that screen? Game Pass.
Get that.
It was on Game Pass on there. And it was talking about playing Xbox. So with Nvidia, you know that they've already made a deal with all these companies, even with Nvidia for Call of Duty and all this other stuff. Why not be able to put that on there? If you're already compatible and you have a back door, front door, however you want to say, to play the games on that system and use that Xbox on Nvidia Cloud, why not be able to flip it on the other way around? It's common sense. Xbox is now. This is a little bit off the way, but it's the reason why a lot of this stuff is happening. Okay, a lot of people were excited when Microsoft was buying ABK, so they could say, look, we got ABK, we got all these games, we got all these exclusives. But what you don't realize, the monster that you done poked when Microsoft bought ABK, and they already saw how much money they were making on the gaming side. They bought ABK and everything else, Bethesda, they came with it, and they're seeing how much money they're making, fiscal sheets. This is why you're seeing more of these steps going forth, because what's Microsoft's plan? They're a 3 trillion company, like it was said in the chat. Why it's like, why are they doing this if they're a 3 trillion company? Because they want to make $4 trillion. You want more players into the ecosystem. You want that chart when you're seeing how do we do for each quarter go up and up and up. So I'm glad to be able to have Nvidia Cloud, because Xbox X Cloud is still not where it needs to be, especially when you compare it to Nvidia. So I think it's just a wise choice, and it's only going to just spread out more. So just be ready for it.
All right. So we're going to move on, man. And once again, shout out to the chat, man. Y'all absolutely amazing. I'm going to drop a little video on y'all, because people keep saying, go down there, click on my merch store, because I got something they not like us. 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 Now, at the end of the show, we're going to talk about Hard Geek Boot and where you can get it from. Bing bong. That's what we do out in these streets. Now, we're going to talk about the industry, the direction. I wanted to talk about this while Paris was here. I think I'm the oldest. And how old are you, Scrub?
Oh, you got almost 10 on me. I'm 43.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I'm the oldest. I went through the gaming crash back in the days. And people go, what's that? Some people know what it is, some people don't. Some people don't understand what it was about. The industry hit a brick wall. Now, we're starting to see layoffs, cuts, new directions, free-to-plays, pay-to-wins. But, as Hoggy said, this is what people prefer to be playing today. Now, you got mustard-hard people who complain about everything. Then you got real gamers that just... I'm not knocking you for playing Fortnite, because I'm a Fortnite guy. Okay? I'm a Fortnite guy. That's just the facts. And what's crazy is I love all generations. It don't stop me from buying games. But you would never, ever, ever want to live through the crash of gaming, where you don't know when the next console coming, because Nintendo NES end up saving our life and the industry when they drop. A lot of people don't know that either. So, I'm going to go to you, Hard Geek. With these cuts and layoffs, will it hold down the growth of gaming with these restructures, let me say?
Look, there's, like any industry, as it grows, it continues to grow, if it's a good industry. It continues to grow, very fast. And then eventually, like, it gets to the point where people start to recognize it, and that's what happened to gaming, and say, I'm going to invest in this. And so you got a ton of money poured in. And so a whole bunch of companies came up and started making games, and, like, all these things started, getting created. The problem is that at some point the market saturates. There's just not enough time to play every game. And we're all feeling that now, right? There's so many games. You're like, I can't play all this. Like, what's going on? If you go back to the 80s, it's like, I'm waiting for the game to come out in 6 months. That was the way it used to be, right? It's like you only had so much, because that was it. There was not that many people making stuff. So you had anticipation. You might have had like a game every month or something like that. Essentially, that was it. And if it was your genre, you're waiting for that 4 months before my kind of game comes out. And that was kind of the way it was. Now, there's like every day there's another release. Every week there's probably 10, 15 releases. Like, there's no way you can keep up with that. Now, when that happens, eventually you kind of get to a point where, unless you can find more players, you're kind of, stuck. So there's going to be games that come out that just either they come out at the wrong time, and there's another game that comes in, and like, what was it, Lawbreakers? I think that was the Cliffy B game, right? That came out along with other games that came out at the same time. The other games took off, his did not, right? And not a bad game. It just happenstance, and that's what happens, right? And so now you're just seeing across the industry, that's kind of what's happening, right? There's kind of you've hit a ceiling of how much time you can expect to get from players, and the games that came up over the last decade, like a Fortnite, have really taken over a lot of the normal hours that were spent in games that would start, end, and go away. Well, that doesn't happen when you're in Fortnite. It just starts, and then it just keeps going, and you can just keep playing, and you can go back and just keep playing, and like that just keeps going. And then this is kind of the thing you have now, right? CS:GO has been going on for God knows how long, and they finally came up with CS:GO 2, right? But that game, if you look at the charts for Steam players, it's almost always at the top.
Yes.
Right, and it's a simple ass freaking game, but it is what it is. It's just always on the top, and so this is the kind of thing you're going to see, right? I as much as you want to see the game like industry kind of have more and more content, at some point it kind of just bursts, and that's kind of where we are. So you're going to have a bunch of companies who were funded to make games because there was investment coming in. Some of them are just going to fail. It's just the way it is, right? You can see the PlayStation side. We just got a brand new release. They're like, hey, we're going to fund a whole bunch of games as a service games. Yeah, that's not an easy thing to do. But hey, you want to decide to make all your studios go gung-ho on that. You're going to buy a few other ones, get Bungie to overlook all that. Cool.
Yeah,
how did that work out?
Too late. Yeah,
it was literally a desperation move for the.
It's very hard, right? Exactly, yeah. It's a hard thing to make that happen. And once there's established long-term games, how are you going to get people off Fortnite? Well, you got to make something.
It's impossible. That's never going to happen.
That's never going to happen.
So hard to do.
You know why it won't
like,
happen?
Fortnite's making so much money and has so much clout. Like, you won't even see a sequel until probably PS6. Like, I'm not even kidding. That's how.
I doubt that they're ever going to need it.
They don't technically. Yeah, you know, right. They don't even need it.
Because the fact that you got to understand that what Fortnite has evolved into, it is no longer a game. It is a platform. It is an engine in itself because people can make stuff in it. It's the same with Roblox. Yeah. I was like, they become platforms and engines.
Are there games that can do that? Sure, Minecraft's still around. Roblox came in, that also did it.
Part of the zeitgeist.
Take away Fortnite, it just added to it. But it's hard to do this. It's not going to be an easy thing to do. And even we've had flash in the pan games that come out and have high numbers, and then they're gone. And like that's the way it is. But you see Fortnite, how old is it now? Like 5 years, 6 years, whatever it is. It just keeps going.
We keep forgetting one. We keep forgetting one.
It just keeps going and going.
But we keep forgetting one.
So this is the thing. Right?
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can.
That's where they're gonna focus is that. But Fortnite itself is able to constantly stay within itself and evolve. I think that's the point.
I mean, if they do it right, I agree with you, buddy. It basically becomes GTA Online is still GTA Online. It just adds content.
I was like, they weren't. I was like, it was such a second like a set off.
Have other games that are good that'll come and go, and then they'll be like indie. It's going to be tough, right? And a lot of these games also then have to be localized to be but I think that's kind of what it is. I think it's kind of hit a little ceiling. And now you're going to see a lot of this kind of consolidation to fix it. They'll try to do what they can with it. But that's kind of what's going to happen. You're going to have more of that consolidation. You're going to have some people just not be there anymore. So that's just the way it is. So you take two.
They'll condense them, push others.
Yeah, exactly. There'll be more little gobbles, here and there, right? So you're and the mergers like you've seen with Take-Two and Zynga and Rovio with Sega and et cetera. So you'll see some more of those kind of things happening as they kind of try to keep their books working, right? So I think that's kind of what you're going to see more of. But yeah, we're okay. The industry isn't crashing, but it is kind of coming to its like peak. What we had was totally different, Lemon, right? What we had was like they messed it up. And then the industry just collapsed.
Yep, it collapsed.
That's not where we are.
You don't want that.
It's right now we're at a saturation point, and that's okay. The saturation point hits, and then the industry sort of stabilizes and figures itself out, right? Because there is still an active customer base that wants to play games. So we haven't lost that customer base. That's a good thing, right? As long as you have customers willing to pay, you're good. You're okay. You just have to meet their demands, right? And get to a stabilization point where everybody's good, right? So that's kind of where we are. It's going to be painful for the next couple of years, though. I think it's still going to be a little bit more stabilization, and then it'll hopefully be good from there on. But we'll see.
Argy, let me ask you a question on that. I was like, with the fact that you think that we're hitting a peak, I was like, because I think with any industry, you're going to have those peaks, you're going to have a dip, and then you're going to have an increase in rise and a shift. And I was like, do you think that where we're seeing that the reason that it's peaking right now before we're going to see not necessarily a downturn, but we're going to see where things are going to be kind of plateau. There might be some things where we're going to see a backtracking or a little bit of decrease before we can start seeing the growth again. How much of this do you think is still heavily left over from the bubble pandemic that was COVID and everything else here because of how much overspending and mass investment that we saw because they're like, oh, everyone's playing, everyone's gaming. I was like, do you think that the reason that we're seeing that plateau kind of now from this peak here before we start seeing that little like rollback, you think a lot of that is still left over from all that from those 4 years?
So it's an understanding of the industry problem, right? So there are analysts who look at industries, and when you look at gaming, you say, hey, they increase customer base, they will have some loss, but they will still have some people retain and then keep going. The problem they didn't recognize was that people were cooped up in the home, and they're like, F this, I want out. And so they really just went out and said,
and didn't think the vaccine was going to be out as quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So F gaming, and so they just figured they would retain. That's not going to happen. So look, the analysts are also going to understand the industry better as they see failures. Right. When it's meteoric rise, you just keep investing, and then until you get to the point where it's like, oh,
you're not getting a return on investment. You got to like fall
12
back.
games as a service. Yeah.
So it's the investor class that's going to learn, right, that, okay, this is how it's going to be, because there's always going to be, like, if somebody wants to invest in gaming, they're going to go to somebody and say, well, what is the market for this? What is the potential for this, right? Yeah. If it's something like, 10 grand, who cares, right? But when it becomes like 20 million, 30 million, 50, 100, then you do a thorough analysis, right? You go through and vet to say, if I'm going to expend this much, what is my return potential? Right. And then you go to analysts to figure that out. Those analysts are going to learn from the failures. Right. It's easy to say keep investing when the market keeps going like this. It's much harder to go when it goes like this. Right. Then you have to understand what's going on. What is the market? What is the potential for that market? Right. They're going to get better at it. So that's essentially it. So you're right. That is basically what they will learn from things like COVID, but also from overall, is the industry at its peak? And then what can you introduce that will work within that will displace something else, right? So they'll have to work through that piece, and hopefully they'll get there. They're usually pretty good at that. But once they see the failures, they understand, okay, if you do this, it's going to fail. If you do that, it's not going to fail. Now, gaming is a little tough in that you can never tell what game might just take off.
Right. It's always
and same with like a genre, right? Because the fact that we've seen that there's always been something that there's one thing that changes at every one trend, right? Look at the 360 generation, right? We look at Gears. What did Gears do that everyone wanted to copy off of? They introduced the wave-based horde mode. As soon as they made that, and it became so
not make a game just battle royale. Only PUBG
but
did that.
That's what I'm saying is that one of those things is that there's always that one, like you mentioned, that indie scene kind of plays into the zeitgeist. Is just like what is going to capture everyone's attention.
And that's what
AAA.
Exactly.
So is that why factions gone?
No, hold on. Let me say this. Since when a game that's great don't sell? There's nothing. I don't talk about them, but you said it. I'm responding because I have an opinion, right? That's not negative. Right? Gaming is about fun. And what's wrong with this community? This community.
They don't like fun.
They don't like fun. Something wrong with y'all.
Yeah.
No, it's they're going to have long-term longevity in the marketplace. People are going to continue to buy them. They'll support them, whether it be a multiple.
It's going from 0 kilobytes upload
up to 0
to 7. I'm like, why is it doing that?
It happened to me. It happened to me yesterday.
I wish you would have told me because I'd have updated to the newest version.
No, Lemon, you're the first person I would expect to update everything before anything.
I was gonna update it. I skipped this one, and damn.
I was like,
it did the last 20 minutes.
The update hit me hard because
I'm gonna go back to what Scrub said. Repeat that.
That's because you couldn't play with her butt naked. That's why they was mad.
I was like, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. I was like, the same people were the ones who were praising Nier Automata, and you couldn't do the same thing over there. I was like, really attractive. I was like, and the thing is that they are very okay with, hey, are women
specific to Koreans?
Very specific to Koreans. Yeah, but look at First Ascendant. You have pretty boy characters for males.
Yeah, that's
you also have very rugged, grizzled, old-looking men. I was gonna say they give you both of that taste that would appeal to women. But guess what? They know an attractive woman is going to be attractive to both sides, no matter what.
Dead or alive volleyball, baby.
I mean, look at
No, you want to go old school? Rumble Roses XX.
I don't know about that. Or Dead or Alive in general.
Nah, Dead or Alive volleyball had the best
beach volleyball
every time. That's a prime, and I'm happy to see that. Why? Because it proves the point that and Bloody make all the time. A good game will simply sell. It doesn't need all your studios advertise. It doesn't need X amount of advertising. You just need to tell it.
My man Super G said China supported China. It didn't
They
sell.
do.
It didn't. How many people in China?
I mean, a game with not a huge marketing behind it. Yeah, it was on PlayStation, but PlayStation don't even buy their own games.
It's not PlayStation. It's driving it.
That's true.
It's PC.
Really,
it's
they
like
did
8.5
that?
out of the 10 million sold on Steam.
Yeah, and
so
it's
PC.
The backpack of Hargy said. So there was over 2 million in general, like live concurrent, like literally when it launched in general. So they did the breakdown. I forgot his name. I think it's Ahmad. I think his name Ahmad on Twitter. But yeah, I'm talking about. He basically broke it down too. Where he was basically saying like if we're looking at 3 million in general when it first live, literally it was about like 600,000 on PlayStation on it, like in general. That just goes to show.
That's still good.
No, that's good. But 600,000 compared to 2 million and 2.4. You got to look at that big. There's a drop off compared to this big, expansive, look here. And that's why I told you, I'm like, listen, when you have numbers like this and the fact that this can be literally any first party PlayStation game, that day and day joint looking more and more plausible. Why? Because all it takes is one good game. That's all it takes. You got to drop it at the right time. When you drop that right game at the right time, a perfect example of this, look at Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 broke. First of all, let's keep it a buck. Were any of you expecting Helldivers 2 to do that type of success?
No.
Especially day one like that.
But hold on.
It'd be good, but not.
I thought it'd be great. Exactly.
I thought it would be good. I thought it'd be good because it appeals to me. Now I'm gonna tell you. Hold on.
Right.
Yes, I'm a Starship Trooper dude. I got that. I got the Starship Trooper game on PC. I love it.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I
played
saw
the beta for that. Yeah.
The first thing I said is, "Oh, this is Starship Troopers. I'm buying that." Because that's a fan favorite thing. That's not a huge blockbuster movie. It was a B movie.
It's iconic. It's iconic.
Yeah. It's also the people that made RoboCop, because you see they got the same type of jokes, like Nukem. Right, it's cult classic. Like Evil Dead used to be a cult classic. Same thing. So I see, this is gonna sell. Because
it's gonna have a decent player count.
Yeah, I thought that.
But
I didn't assume.
You look at it.
I didn't assume that the PC market was going to be the lead. I thought it was going to be on I bought it on PlayStation.
Honestly, and here's where I kind of always figured it was going to be that. The reason why, and it goes. No, I'm talking about Steam.
No, I'm talking about Lemon.
Well,
I bought it on. Listen. I bought it on PlayStation because I
figured... bought it. They didn't.
No. That's what I'm saying.
I bought it on PC.
I assumed on PlayStation it was going to be successful because my biggest thing about Concord, and shout out to Jay Barry, man, and Persona, they are really pushing this game and showing you what that game is about. They're playing it. You know what kills me? You heard what I said to him when he did that super chat. That was no slight. Bro, they need about 10 million more of you. Because there ain't nothing wrong with the game. It don't bring nothing new to the table. And I'm definitely one of them Overwatch type players, and I think Overwatch 1 was better than that 1.5. But that it doesn't bring nothing new to the table. I don't want the game to fail. I want to up my online player count on PlayStation is terrible. Everybody on my friends list that's on PlayStation came from Call of Duty.
And that's
exactly. And that's why are you surprised?
But I think that's why he
already know. This is why it's funny. Like dudes don't understand that. Like, yeah, they'll talk, they'll hype these games up, and it's very similar to what you see with their single player. Right. They'll talk about them day in, day out. They'll do these ridiculous posts saying Xbox is dead. They'll do these comparisons, these dumb screenshots, and then when the day comes up to put up the cash for, because remember, and Hargy, you've seen this. Remember, apparently it's frowned upon to rent a game if you have the option to do so on Game Pass versus to buy. Apparently that's the bad thing. So they'll use this stuff to push that narrative that renting games and all this stuff is destroying the game. No, it's very simple. If a game is good and it has the appeal, it will sell. It will push growth. It's that simple. And it's never changed. The way Helldivers blew up the way it did, because it came out the right time in the right place when it needed it the most. The reason why it went down as of late is because Sony's dumb practices.
Yeah, because they want to get them PSN numbers up. You got a mandatory sign-in.
Right. And people don't get that. Like that right there was the one thing that they learned the hard way about. The PC community is not like the PlayStation community.
They're not like no community.
They're not going to accept mediocrity. They're not going to fight with Twitter for mediocrity. They fight for the best experience possible in options. That's how they've always been.
And even worse, those shenanigans cut out 180 countries.
It was like
176 to be exact.
Like, what do you? Hasn't it still not been reinstated? Like, isn't it still like because of that? It's still been pulled off Steam. So there's still people.
You cannot play it. You cannot buy it.
So, because of that stupid mistake, and they pulled it off Steam because of the fact that they aren't going to sign in on PSN. You still killed your entire PC player base
because it went day and date on PC. If it wasn't day and date on PC, it would have collapsed.
But that goes to what he was saying.
But dudes are telling me, right? Dudes telling me, oh, day and date will kill PlayStation. Look at Xbox.
No,
First of all, it would not. PlayStation has a thing called quality control. We've seen this with every game from most of their first-party studios. They never had this problem. All you need is all you gotta do is at the right time. And that's literally how it's always been. You can't expect the same results for games that are 4 years old, 2 years old, or 3 years old. You can't expect that. That's why Sony's finding out. You have to drop that when the iron is hot. You have to attack
and I had said that about God of War, right? And Spider-Man. Because this game is unknown. It did better than all your titles you released on PC in the history of your PC releases in a week. You bring out an old game, 3-4 years old. You think people on PC, let's keep it gangster, they done modded your game already and they're playing it.
Bro.
You already know why they not buying it.
And you know what,
do day and date and you will be fine. But if you wait 2 to 3 years and people want to play Spider-Man on PC,
they're going to
Spring 2 is coming out.
And here's the thing, that's going to be one of the biggest games of the year, just off of principle. But the PC community is going to be on that in droves.
It's going to be in droves. And guess what? I was like, Space Marine 2 doing what Helldivers 2 is going to do, but more because of the fact that it's an IP that people know, and it's one that people trust. You know that any kind of recovery or anything that they could have done to try to bring things, it's gone.
And to what Lemon said earlier, like I don't wish nothing bad on Firespray. I think they're a great talented studio.
Very talented, and the updates was awesome.
Every person who makes a game, whether it's AA, AAA, or vice versa, and you're a part of either studio or small studios, I got no issue with that. I support every single last one. You know what I'm saying? If you making good games, I'm with it. It's that simple. But the problem is, and this is where the hypocrisy is shown, dudes can't keep the same energy. You see, if this was an Xbox title, it would have been called the middest title of all time. If this was an Xbox title, you would have heard people talk about this. Dudes would have been nonstop talking about this. But explain to me how dudes can spend 24/7 on Twitter, day in and day out, talking about how games like Hellblade 2 is dead, is trash. Yet all these games that you're mentioning had a higher all-time player count than this damn game did on Steam by itself. Tell me what's going on here. You know why? Because the game is not what it should be. It's not everything. It's cool. It's probably plays well because there's not many players. So of course it might play well. But the game might play well. It might function.
Ain't you a PlayStation guy?
That's good. Well, apparently I'm a PC dude, and then I'm an Xbox dude. You pick your poison. That's
just depending on what.
You're real. That's when you start getting those different views, that means you're a gamer.
So me personally, I take it as all as compliment. Why? Because when they look at my PSN, they see I dog walk 90% of you. It's funny as hell. So I love when I do that.
Dog walk me. You definitely dog walk me. I'm not challenging you, sir. You and Persona, y'all got mad trophies.
I was like, I already know. I was like, I only play the exclusives. I was like, I don't play anything outside of that. So I already know.
I only play the exclusive too. I bought a couple games over there, you know, outside the, like Kina, Seafood. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, I bought my games over there, but you know, primarily, you know.
But here's the thing, first party. And I put out a tweet about that. You saw this, Lemon. This tweet kind of went a little viral in a sense, but it's a truthful comment. You see, it's a comment. I'm not saying this to provoke people. I'm saying this because at the end of the day, if we're gonna sit here day in and day out and talk about the word standards, if we're gonna talk about quality, can we keep the same energy when the side that you rep doesn't meet those standards, doesn't meet that quality?
Can I be petty a little bit?
Same thing.
That's facts.
Redfall had a higher attachment
and
rate.
Higher player vote. Bleeding Edge did too. But look, none of that's really relevant.
Then Concord, and but hold on, Hoggy. I didn't think that was gonna happen. Because
I didn't think it was going to be this bad. It's bad.
It is
terrible. Also, keep in mind too, they hustle people into paying just to access that beta. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Because remember, they asked for 60 if you want to get the beta early or something, or access the beta. And then everybody, when they got on it, it was like I think it was like 900 something like that. When people it was like over 1,000.
You can refund right? On Steam. Some of them are going to be in the 60s. They're going to be in the 70s.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
there's always a 50-50 chance.
You have to take it now, right? And when Jim Ryan pivoted, PlayStation, I'm like, don't expect all these games to hit. You're going to have to accept that some of these games are not going to hit. You're going to have to.
It's literally you can't. And also your hook. I call it the hook to get those that are outside of the core that you 8 years.
So by the time So by the time you come out with that game, the trends have changed and now you're screwed.
Right.
So that's why a lot of these games of service is not going to work if you try to catch the trend that's happening.
Everybody's not built for games of service though.
And here's the thing too.
Everybody's not built for that. That's a different beast, right? We seen a mighty team at 343, right? We seen them.
They went through all hell. They went through hell.
And then Halo, right? Infinite wasn't broke at launch. Didn't shoot bad. Was nice looking.
No.
The problem with Halo Infinite, it didn't have content.
It had like the content and the modes, right? Which I thought Battle Passes are highly successful over there.
Yep.
And this is what I'm talking about, being a positive content creation.
Just to throw this at you, to throw this out here at you, because I put out a tweet about that. Literally, I just said sheesh, because as of right now, if I was talking, there's over 3,000 players still playing Halo Infinite compared to what you saw for Concord.
So which was at like 164.
So damn.
So what I'm gonna say is, people in this industry. Now, I always say this. I get into this business. We're gonna go to you, Super G, on the next topic first. Get your bars first. I always say this. I get into content creation to give people the good side of gaming. Everybody could talk the bullshit and how something negative, because negativity sells.
That's how it's always been.
Look. Somebody got a screenshot like this. Why you shouldn't buy Asus ROG Ally. Dumbass.
Exactly. Well,
Come on.
Let me finish my point.
Everybody could do that. I'm not doing that. I'm going to tell you all the good things that device brings to the table, right?
Yeah.
So that's what kills me about this industry, right? I didn't want Concord to fail because for one reason. I want to get my PlayStation people up, and I thought the game was decent. I played the beta. It's nothing new, but it's fun.
It goes
to
back
play.
to that conversation.
They're acting like this game is terrible. It's really not.
Yeah. No, it goes back to that conversation that we had, though. It's like, bro, how many multiplayer games does Sony have, but they're charging you for online, too? You have to justify a lot. Sony has to justify a lot of stuff that they're charging you for. You have no multiplayer games, first-party-wise, as it is, that are alive and are actually lively and people are actually playing. You don't have that. You're in. If you're looking by just the numbers and the sell charge by itself, right, your main core audience at this point is about to be on PC.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding.
Yeah,
because if your games are getting triple, if not double, in day one sales on this side and over here, the side that, mind you, you just launched the operating system for, you got the little conversion and whatnot for. If more people are over here buying, supporting these games, I don't see how people can't. Nux, I don't know how dudes can't see the door right in front of them. It's like, bro, it's wide open for them to say, hey, listen, day and day. And the crazy thing is, Herman Hulse flat out told you that every PlayStation game is timed. He flat out told you it's timed. It will happen. So I don't understand this, but people claiming that it's over. It's like, bro, here's why Concord pisses me off personally. Like I don't care for it. What pisses me off about Concord, believe it or not, it's not even the game. It's not even the developers.
So what
pisses me off. What pisses me off about Concord is that Concord is the replacement for Last of Us Factions 2. That's what pissed me off. Factions 2 gets canceled, but you greenlight this.
Okay, can I ask you a question? Hold on.
Damage control.
Me and you don't really go back and forward with no disagreement.
Huh?
Motherfuckers didn't play fucking Factions 1.
Yeah, they did. More people than this?
2,000 concurrent players. I was a huge player of it. 2,000 is nothing to say.
How many people are playing? Okay, how many people are playing?
This is worse.
Concord. Okay,
but I seen people capping for Factions, and I said, "You bastards wasn't get down. You bastards wasn't playing it when it was out."
Here's the thing. I was on that day one. You can ask my man Jack Johnny. Me and him, I used to go back and forth with Weapon Wheel and fight them in it all the time. And here's the thing. Factions, even if let's say they didn't change a whole lot for Factions 2, they didn't really need to. Just give it the dodge mechanics like you did in Last of Us Part 2. Give it the pro mechanics. Add vegetation to maps. You know what I'm saying? Throw the weapons from Last of Us 2 in there. And then for DLC and all that stuff, you can throw the classic weapons if you wanted from Last of Us Part 1, like that little single fire rifle and stuff like that. Do stuff like that. That would have sold
Factions 1 was dope.
5 times more. Yeah, it would have sold 5 times more than Concord.
Thank you, Mike.
And here's why. The name recognition by itself would have propelled that game too, and people would have been on that. They have come a long way with multiplayer. Yeah,
there's some more fun with that. To your point, right? They already built the fucking game.
Exactly.
And they scrapped it. They could have fucking given it away.
But
they would have gotten something.
Mike Johnson said something in the chat. He said, "Lemon, that's why they scrapped it. You know why they scrapped it? Because nobody was going to play it anyway. They didn't care.
They could have put it in PS Plus. Put it in PS Plus Extra.
They could have, but this is the concept, right? We can go with Concord.
How do you
Overwatch,
throw it away?
Right? Because
that's years of work.
They didn't play the first one.
Okay,
That's
well now okay.
We putting all this money into something that they're not going to play. Concord is fresh. But hold on.
Clement, I get what you're saying. If they hadn't even greenlit it, I get it, right? But they did. They made the game. It's already done.
And they gave you the heads up beforehand. Remember that, Hargy? They gave us the heads up beforehand that it was coming. You saw the screenshot. Yeah, you saw the screenshot that this thing was coming. So the fact that you cancel this after you got everybody's hopes up, everybody's excited. You got Deuce cosign. See, the dudes say they disagree, saying that it wouldn't sell and all that stuff. Here's the thing: if we would have rewind the clock back to when this game was still greenlit, what were they doing, Hargy? Oh, I can't wait to play this. I can't wait.
Yes.
And it goes right back to what I said to bad actors, bro. I swear to God, it's always full circle. Everybody shows their true colors when they masters say no. I swear to God, every single time. It doesn't stop. It's a nonstop, it's like a slot machine. Every single time you get the same damn result. No one ever goes against the grain as much and just accepts it. Bro, I'm not accepting that. Well, here's why I'm not accepting it, because that was an option that was taken away from me. Well, you know why I'm not accepting it? Because in the midst of that game getting canceled, you're asking for more money for PS Plus.
Ooh.
In the midst of me not
in
doing
the
that
last time that Game Pass existed, you was already raising the prices. You ain't been out there long enough to raise prices. That's just how I felt. But
and you're not even giving us good state of plays and reason to be excited to get for the core audience. You see what I'm saying? This is the stuff I'm talking about. People are ignoring this.
No, because they shills. They don't want to.
They're ignoring this. They're looking over this. What's up?
I'll give you one more that really bugs me. Out of all the games they had, that Spider-Man game looked fire.
I was going to bring that up. They canceled that.
Hargy. This is from Insomniac Games. These dudes were cooking. You play Spider-Man 2. You know exactly what I'm talking about. How well they cooked in Spider-Man 2. Y'all know exactly how well Spider-Man 2 was. If you are a Spider-Man fan, Spider-Man 2 is a love letter to Spider-Man fans. It literally sets the bar so fucking high. That game had it all. But here's the thing. We did get a glimpse of this multiverse. You mean to tell me, dude, y'all think it would have failed if you and three other your friends are swinging through the city fighting people, fighting Venom and all that? How is that something that would fail?
Mike Johnson, Big Cloud ain't hurt. He's preaching.
Bro,
these are facts.
9 times.
You don't cancel Spider-Man.
What sounds more interesting? You playing with three more of your friends, web swinging through the city, possibly playing through the story from start to finish co-op versus a game like Concord, which literally has an identity crisis.
Right.
When I first saw Concord, I thought it was a knockoff of Guardians of the Galaxy. I swear to God, I got Guardians of the Galaxy.
Or a Star Wars side movie.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's a knockoff of Guardians of the Galaxy. But then you throw it out there. It's like, bro,
this hero shooter thing. I'm like, what is this?
Bro, it ain't got nothing. It ain't got nothing. Like,
yo, listen,
I don't understand.
Listen, we got to move on.
That was a good idea. I just don't understand.
We got 2 goddamn topics left, man.
Take it away, bro. I'm sorry.
And we're going on 3.5 hours.
I don't care. I don't care.
No, I'm just saying.
You know, I usually don't do that Iron Lord shit. But sometimes it's warranted, and guess what? It's never been a dull moment, so we good.
Nah,
so
never.
It's my fault. Every freaking podcast I go on, it goes 5 hours. It's like ridiculous.
Look, RG, when you're here, I'm okay with it because you're always fun. I was like, you always bring a lot of knowledge.
It's always cool to chill out.
So I'm gonna ask y'all something. This is another short topic before we get into the emotional topic of these Xbox dudes falling apart. And I told you times are changing, you weirdos. But Scrub. I'm gonna start with you.
What's up?
Gamescom
right.
highlights, bro.
Oh, you don't want to ask me that.
Yeah, I do.
My biggest Gamescom highlight wasn't a game.
It was the chick with the yellow hair.
Oh no! It was secret level.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was badass.
Yeah. That was my highlight.
Yeah, I hope that
I was so excited to see this, and the reason why I'll pause because it's sad because my game or whatever that I was excited about was secret level. Shout out to making Gamescom. I don't know what Jeff Keighley has on everybody in this gaming industry, but his shows get more boring and boring to me, and it's too damn long because you're trying to get more money as far as here, I'll pay you more money, advertise, let me put my game. I mean, you got to condense it a little bit. That thing was almost 3 hours long. It felt like it was almost 5, and I kept doing this halfway through it.
Oh,
but
damn.
Yeah,
I'm so glad I'm not the only one who feels the same way about all of Keighley.
But now,
you know what? Look. Right. Who is competing with him? What he do?
Nobody. We lost.
Hold on.
E3 was.
I'm talking about today. They bowed out.
No, today nothing.
They bowed out, right?
That's what I'm saying.
So now
that's why I tell everybody about these video
matters.
games.
Competition matters.
Exactly.
He got no competition. He do what he want to do. You can't be mad at him.
And it gets worse.
That's what he's saying is that no one can come up and really make something that can compete with him because everyone's going to go straight to him. That's what he's saying is that it's so hard to make anything that competes.
No, they don't have to go to him. You got to get somebody.
No.
Hold on.
But that's what he's saying is that
hold on. You got to get somebody to challenge him for him to humble himself. Right now, he don't got to be humble. He's the only show in town. That's my point.
And that's what. But that's what Scrub is saying is that anytime someone tries to come and make a show,
that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Didn't he just tell you that's not what he's saying?
He's saying that now.
What I'm saying is now that he doesn't have that's why everybody wants. I want this to go away. I don't want Xbox to be alive. I want PlayStation to be alive. In front of our faces, what happens when you have no competition? It's getting worse and worse.
Right.
Jeff Keighley's putting all his friends and all his pet projects. I mean, you have to make a cartoon version of Jeff Keighley in your gaming announcement for him to put him on the show. I mean, there was.
I'm gonna get Jeff on here. I'm gonna get Jeff on here, man. We're gonna talk about that.
then you sit here and see that it was getting more obvious. He was like disappointed to even talk about an Xbox game.
Yo, did you see him say?
Can I add on to that for a second?
But hold on, one quick line.
He's gonna make his point.
No, I got you. But he says this is what he says in his shows. That kills me. I thought this should be on stage, so I put it here. I said, wait a minute, what? What?
So here's the thing, Scrub. So he was live, obviously. You know how they do like that pre-little stream,
right.
like he'd be on his laptop, he was showing. So I don't know if y'all were in the chat, but people were asking them the questions in the chat. He looked so not deflated, but he looked like he was not so energetic in terms of what he had to offer. People were like, oh, you got some big announcements? He was like, yeah, we got some announcements. And somebody asked, so is there going to be a and there's one more thing type of announcement? He's like, yeah, I got one of those. But, I think we're gonna have some. I think some stuff here you guys are gonna like. Yeah, like. So when you have that type of energy going into it, it's pretty obvious you don't really have a whole lot. And as far as your shows are concerned, we've had great. The reason why I say that is because a show at the end of the day, like listen, we tune into these shows for the games, good game announcements.
Right.
If there is no good game announcements, then guess what? The overall show is gonna just feel bad based off of that principle. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So a lot of people, especially with Sony being quiet, the fact and all this stuff, people were at least hoping for something for Sony in general here, and nothing was there for Sony in regards to that. So that's why I'm saying like it comes down to what exactly is offered. If you got a good selection of games, then obviously the show is going to be good. We've had good Jeff Keighley shows because of how good the game announcements were. But
that's what I want.
No. But stop this. Why are you going to show me a trailer? Why are you going to show me a trailer of a game that's already out and people are playing it and we got 10 million game sales?
Oh, Wukong? Yeah.
Why are you showing me that?
Yeah.
Why are you showing me this? It's BS. I mean, I saw Call of Duty.
Sony and Microsoft because they're trying to advertise a game that they just launched, but I didn't understand that either.
Yo, Scrub, you got a very soft voice and you very mild-mannered, but you're a goddamn killer.
He's one of them silent.
I'm trying to be good.
No, you're being great, but I'm saying like Scrub don't talk with mad aggression, but when it's like when Super talk and he get mad and he still stay at the same tone, but he pissed. When he pissed, like something get underneath these two guys. These some silent assassins. You know what I'm saying? But listen, we got to keep moving.
Wait for the show.
You wasn't here, man. I need your Gamescom highlights. It's a nice hat, by the way. Locks that rocks.
Oh man, I had a work phone call, bro. The highlight was Indiana Jones on PlayStation. That was the only highlight.
No, that's the next topic. Don't do that.
So you hype, bro. What's this? Yeah, you hype for sloppy seconds?
Oh, damn!
They had it first.
I'm happy. I'm happy. More people get to play the game, bro.
Right?
You happy?
I'm more interested to see what the reviews are gonna look like too. Even though I don't really care about reviews, but I want to see how it's gonna go.
IGN review from Xbox. 5.
Hey,
comes to PlayStation 9.5.
So you happy to see that? So Lim, he happy to see the hypocrites do a 180 on this, saying it was going to be bad.
See, we don't talk enough. But I'm letting you know now. I like to see the internet burn. So I know. I love to see him. I love to see him backtrack. I love to see him get cornered. I love to see him just like they don't know what to say, bro.
Did he raise his voice? No.
Nah.
But he immediately got vicious. All right.
Go kill. Okay.
Hard Geek, man. Any highlights from the show? I got some highlights, but I ain't write them down, so I don't remember all of them by name.
Yeah, no, I definitely saw some cool games. Sniper Elite, that was awesome. That was in the pre-show. It wasn't even in the show. I don't know why the heck it wasn't in the show.
Too many games.
But Sniper Elite coming, I love those games, and that's coming to Game Pass day to day. So that's awesome. So I'll be playing that. Mafia, that looks cool.
Yep. That was the one.
Borderlands gets announced. That's cool. Unknown 9 gets a release date. I've been looking forward to that game.
Borderlands better do better than that movie.
Oh,
That's not a high
Room
bar.
got silent real
That's really not a high bar.
Yo, that movie got poorly casted, bro. Poorly casted.
I was like, it wasn't even poorly casted. It was just poorly written.
No, but
Everything
nobody
about that
knows that. You would have to
Poorly
watch it.
casted though. How you gonna have
Who was
Patricia
looking
Dennis,
for a
like,
Borderlands
80 years old?
movie?
Yo,
Nobody.
listen.
Everything about
hold
that was a bad idea.
Hold on. Listen. Let's be real here. Borderlands is not a serious situation. The cast is not the problem, bro.
That movie is 12 years too late.
Yes.
Yeah, it came out during the hype craze of Borderlands.
Yes. Come
But,
on.
you know.
We all know Borderlands is not a serious shooter. They make weapons that, it's crazy. It's a wild, crazy situation. People say, why is Kevin Hart in it? Because he's a clown.
Well, he's a clown. They need a comic relief. Like, why was Jumanji?
They didn't have a bad cast, Bloody.
Right. Yeah.
It's like 10 years too
I
late.
didn't say it. I'm just saying that whole film was just bad. I was like, I don't care about the cast. The movie itself was bad.
You would have to go see it for it to be bad. You can't see it from the trailer. Because I'm going to go see it.
I was there because I have a friend who works at the movie theater.
If you know who the characters are, you know who's portraying the characters.
It was bad.
So you saw it, so you're saying it's bad. Okay.
I saw it for free and it was bad. I felt like they owed me a refund.
Ooh.
That's how bad it was.
He said, I need a free for view for next week.
Somebody held the door open for him and he snuck in the back.
No, it's gross. I was like, I have a friend who actually is one of the managers at the theater right up the road from me. I said, hey, can I get in? He's just like, yeah. He's like, you want to come see it? He's just like, there's no one there. I'm just like, is it really that? He's like, it's empty, dude. He's like, I was like, all right, cool.
It's gonna be more packed for the crow.
I saw Alien Romulus with like 5 people in the movie
I saw
theater.
that too.
But it was
Alien Romulus.
But it was fire.
It had 5 screens out here.
It was
They were all packed.
fire.
Yeah, that's a return to form. I'm loving what they do.
Yeah.
To round it out, like all the little stupid, little things. There was a small game. What was it? What the heck was it called? Nico Dorito. Yeah. Yeah. So that looked pretty cool. It's a little platformy game, right? That looks kind of cool. What you call me? And then the update for Starfield. So getting Rev 8, I think, is the vehicle. And it was dropped that day, and then a performance update for Series S. That's really cool.
Yeah.
But the vehicle really looks like it's gonna be fun.
Awesome.
Shattered Space. We got the release date. Awesome. Release date for Indie, but I'm actually kind of disappointed about the release date. But we'll get into release date later, I guess, when we talk about that.
I mean, you can bring that up. I don't care about release dates, but it is this year.
Yeah. So I am not sure they're confident in the game if they're going to put it out in December. I don't know why you would do that.
Well, December's usually like a whole date month. It's usually December 31st, but maybe they need time. Maybe they don't
put the games in December.
Right. But they got to
maybe
space,
that's not a big choice, bro. Maybe it's a Disney choice. Because Disney
it's not Disney that's going to determine when the game comes out, but I think it. If you have confidence in a game, you don't put it in No Man's Land. I just don't. I don't know. But to me, that's a red flag.
First of all, I love you and my man Pixel Big G on Boom Show. The debate was incredible. But I'm gonna say this.
Well, I kind of stopped because they just really wanted a vent. But holy crap!
But I'm gonna say this. You know you're my guy. Defended you the other day. You're my brother. I don't give a fuck. I'm biased. But I'm gonna say this. Pixel is my dude. Pixel Big G is my guy. I'm gonna say this. Y'all both was right. Microsoft owns the PC market. Because you can't put nothing on that PC market without being Windows. 98% of the computers attached to the internet is Windows. And then he's right on the gaming side. So
that
I was like,
is like 50% of the sales market on
like,
games for Windows.
What the hell y'all debating about? Y'all both are right.
Yeah, So I'm like, I just didn't want to pile into them, and I still don't. I don't like going after community people.
No. But it's always a good
but
debate.
They were
y'all on the same side. Y'all
on a very low level. I'm like, oh my gosh, I should just shut up and like let them vent because. People were very depressed. I'm like, what the heck's going on? Like, dude, it's not like somebody got shot here. It's one
it still was good.
Oh my goodness.
It still was good.
Like,
but I enjoyed it.
Check the DM and Twitter. Oh yeah, check it.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
But anyway, so my main
somebody
concern.
submit a heartbeat.
Yeah, so my main concern is just that I don't.
Who you want to check the DM on
also
Twitter?
talking about the release date for PlayStation.
Me?
Look at Supra's face, said it all.
That's bad.
Hold on.
That's past bad.
I just want you to understand, Supra. We could have got Last of Us Part 2, but we got that.
Yo, I'm not doing that. I was gonna put that on the screen. I'm not doing that.
Oh no.
I'm not. Nope. We don't do that here.
Mine's is backwards. It's backwards.
What happened, hey guys? Hey, shout out to the 141 that are holding that game down right now online.
Oh, it went away.
Nah. Yeah, listen, we gonna continue with this good news.
That can't be
Was
real.
you done with game? Was you done with Gamescom?
I guess that's it. That was pretty much it. It's just my concern. That last piece is just my concern. I don't know. It's a red flag to me that it's coming out in December, but we'll see what happens.
You know what?
Hopefully
I'm gonna be petty. I'm gonna put that in the show. Y'all dudes is horrible. Anyway,
so I'm really looking forward to what they do with this here. I was actually surprised with the Borderlands 4 trailer. That was actually really cool.
Yes.
No more room in Hell 2. No more room in Hell 2's getting to see a lot more from that game. I've been waiting for Budokai Tenkaichi 4. So the fact that we're finally getting it, I don't care that they changed the name. It looks so good. And it's what I've been wanting from a Dragon Ball fighting game for decades now. Seeing more on Path of Exile 2, I was really looking forward to that. Really was excited that we got an announcement date for Tales of Iron 2. I really love the first one. I was like, it's a great indie title, very well written. I was like, and it's completely narrated by the voice actor who does Geralt. Hyped.
okay.
Yeah.
Bit, talk to me, man. Anything
So I'm
from
surprised.
Gamescom?
Yes, sir. There was Dune that stood out for me. Another game no one talked about, Dying Light. That new
the
expansion is like the Beast, the new expansion.
Mhm.
Here's the cool thing
It's a
about
standalone.
Here's the cool thing about this though. It started off as DLC, so if you guys got the Ultimate Edition of Dying Light 2, you get it for free.
Oh wow.
Oh, they confirmed that. Yeah, they confirmed that. That was really, really cool.
You know what? I was like, Mecha Break. I just realized that no one's talking about Mecha Break.
Yeah,
I was like,
Mecha Break
so
was that
badass
one.
looking.
Yeah, that's basically Armor Core. Well, meets Gundam at this point. It's really, really cool.
Basically,
I
yes,
was in
and
a
I'm
beta.
all for it. Yeah.
Because VR, here's the thing.
At the time, and I'm like, yo, bro, VR is different. You know, they need more sit-down experiences where you ain't running around your crib like we older. I ain't trying to be exercising in video games. But a lot of things you can sit down and play the games now. So when we played Vader Immortal, both of them left there and they bought and they pre-ordered goddamn headsets.
Yeah, and the last announcement that definitely was good, and I really, really liked. I'm definitely gonna replay the series now. Now this has been announced in anticipation for this game, and that's Mafia. The new Mafia looks.
Oh yeah,
is
the
looking
old
gonna be
country.
great. Yes, sir. That looks great. I
That
hope
was
it's
that
more
was
like
the best
Mafia
racist
2.
game I've ever played in my life.
They did the same. It's the reason why Red Dead Redemption
Was fired, and then also did that same thing.
Bully?
And that was no. Well, that but the other
yeah,
game.
Bully.
You know what I'm saying? You
exactly.
gotta- First of all, I don't got Verizon yes before a show, because sometimes it throws off my stream deck, my landlords. I'd be like, yo, bro, I need a vibe. A little bit of cursing. So now
What do you mean PG-13? You know how many F-bombs we dropped that tonight? I was like, this is rated R, almost N17
listen, if
plus.
you
Let's
watch
go.
PG-13 movies, they cursing that too now. The
They
ratings
get
have
get one
changed.
F.
I'm gonna say my piece, and then I want people to chime in, right? I want the chat to chime in, right? Whenever it catches up on the internet. So, only thing I didn't like was how they did it,
Yeah, that was weird.
right? It's a little to get that content out.
I don't think Lego did anything with that.
You don't-
That was
Yeah, that
was all
one.
PlayStation.
We can go check them
So-
out, like Disneyland. That's what they
So-
want. They want
so-
to do that.
So you gonna tell me, Bit Cloud and Hoggy, you think that was a Sony call? You don't think?
Definitely was.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not knocking
They're
that.
not.
I'm not
They-
debating
they're
it.
staying.
They own the IP.
Okay.
They own it all.
Yeah,
Okay.
because if it was up to Lego, it would also come out on Xbox.
Xbox. Right. That's people.
Because
don't
they wouldn't
understand.
care. They would put it everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So
So
it's
it's
not
not up to
It
Lego.
would have been everywhere.
This
It would
was
not
them.
just be 3. Exactly.
Okay, so I
it
respect
was
that.
them.
You know, I just was saying my opinion. I don't know. I ain't say I was right, but that's y'all bring up great points. So, Indiana Jones is going PS5. I wasn't mad. People try to point out, yo, Phil said, yeah, things change, right? When you own a business, forecasts change. Nothing stays in stone. You could say, oh, yeah, we want to do VR. And then you look at VR and say, yeah, we ain't doing that because it's wasting money, right? So, Hard Geek, we're going to start with you. Indiana Jones, PS5, thoughts?
It's like you said. It's like you said. As far as the announcement of it is the problem, I don't think the fact that it's going to PlayStation is an issue. That. It came with the acquisition. The initial thought was, yeah, it's probably going to be multi-plat. I vociferously said, no, we should make it exclusive on RDX. And it turned out they went for that. They went ahead and tried to get it and make it exclusive.
Right.
However, when they did that, they owned ZeniMax.
Yep.
They did not even have an inkling of having ABK.
Yes, sir.
And once that transition happens, you have to understand that things have changed dramatically now. Right? They're no longer ABK is 15,000 employees and Xbox is 5. Yep. Okay, they brought in a huge different thing. This is the biggest acquisition in Microsoft history, right? Yep. It's the biggest gaming acquisition, period.
In the history.
It's a different beast now, okay? And the calculus is different, right? They're paving their own way and they're trying to figure out what makes sense, right? Along with this massive investment that Microsoft is making, it's not just Xbox, Microsoft is making. The money people are now going to pay attention. You're no longer a little dinky thing on the side.
Right. When
you're first 3 or 4 in revenue for Microsoft, which now puts you in the limelight for shareholders. Right? It's just the way it is.
Looking over there like,
so
wait
they're
a minute,
in a different world.
I could get a new Escalade because they selling games now. Because before they was the bum division.
Exactly. It didn't matter, right? It just didn't matter.
Right.
It just
didn't
is
matter.
what it is.
It's funny. I like how no one gave any props to Black Ops 6. They're so tired of it. Nobody's mentioned it in the Gamescom. That was funny.
Well, because look, I already know Black Ops 6. I already know what it's going to be. I'm already excited to play it because it's going to be in Game Pass, right? And it's already. I already had what was a 30-minute, 50-minute, whatever it was, like the deep dive, right?
Game modes
and
will be exposed the 26th Monday,
right? So, but as far as
no,
because who cares?
We assume that
Doom was already. If they just said day and date, that's good for PlayStation players. It's also good for Xbox players because it ends the stupidity. Now they give you this 3-month window of exclusivity, and it's like, well, what's the point? And you're announcing it at the same time you're announcing the release date for Xbox. So now let's take that away from an emotional Xbox player perspective. For them, okay, so Xbox has a shit market share in Europe. It's just non-existent. So if you're going to Europe to Gamescom and you want to try to, ingratiate yourself to players out there who are primarily on other platforms, you're going to try to do something to say, we're going to make a big splash and say something good for you, right? And that's what they did. So they said, hey, you know what? Yes, it's coming to Xbox. Yeah, it's going to be exclusive for a little bit. But you PlayStation players, don't worry, we got you.
We got you. Yep.
So they make that announcement. Now, it might seem like a slap in the face to us. But you have to understand where they are, right? They're trying to get themselves to have positive mindshare in an area where they have just zero mindshare, right? Like, if you look at the variety of countries there, they don't care about Xbox.
And also to piggyback off of what you said too, all the games that they have released on PlayStation Target, if you look at the top 10, top 5, they've all been in the top 5 on PlayStation. So that right there is the point, is to get into the minds. It's to get that word out there.
Exactly.
It's going to press. Most players, console-wise, guess what, are on PlayStation. So therefore, those casuals that left Xbox now have the option, and it's in their mind. Because the first thing they're going to see, Lemon, when they fire it up, it ain't going to say PlayStation Studios. No. It's going to say Xbox Game Studios. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And this goes back to with him wanting Game Pass on PlayStation. You remember that? Y'all remember this? They
would love to do it.
He wanted that. He wants that. He wants that. That's what I'm saying.
Because you know why they're getting the bag from everywhere. Why limit your options?
People don't understand that. People don't understand that. Yeah, people don't understand that.
So moving past the emotional thing of seeing all that, right? I'm looking at it from the business perspective of what they're trying to do, right? And would you see other games like if I take the Xbox Game Studios, there's a larger % chance that those would stay exclusive, not guaranteed, but those would stay exclusive. Some of the Zenny might stay exclusive. Some of them may not. And in fact, you can probably think the bigger games will likely go to PlayStation either timed or day and date. So Elder Scrolls 6, it may just end up being a day and date or a timed exclusive, right? And you just have to take it as it is because they bought all of ZeniMax.
Right.
This also opens them up to be able to say,
who was a third-party company?
They have to be. There's no way to take Activision and Blizzard and say we're going to make that all exclusive.
Right? It'd be dumb.
The money just doesn't. It just doesn't work.
It's just
right. It just doesn't work. So they're going to make those everywhere, and so you're going to take ZeniMax, and they're going to try to do the same thing with some of those properties and say we want them everywhere, right? So like, don't be surprised when Switch 2 or whatever the heck it gets announced that there's like 30 freaking Xbox games that are coming to that platform. Because
they can even run it. That's if they can even run it.
Yeah, I think it will, right? Because remember, they're the ones that are like, we want to put things everywhere, so they will scale back to whatever, right? So
yeah,
I think they'll do it. Steam Deck is probably the same level as what the Switch 2 will be. So if it can run on Steam Deck, why not?
I don't think it's going to touch Steam Deck or Rogue Ally. I do think it's going to be a nice upgrade, but I don't think it's going to be that.
Listen, I'm not saying you're wrong, bro.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is, I think it's going to be at least a zero in extreme power. Because
it might be that much.
Steam Deck, Asus ROG Ally came out after. Right? So it's going to be more powerful, right? Steam Deck is what they did in 2017. They at least got to go, even if you release a Z1.
I don't know, man. Them casuals on the Nintendo side, like, they're a different breed than the ones you see on PlayStation and Microsoft. They buy everything. Like, look at the way Mario sells. All their games that they're selling on that are guaranteed to sell.
No, facts. But what I'm saying is we not the casuals.
Yeah.
That won't do it for me. First of all, the first thing I'm gonna skip to the next Nintendo is this is the facts. If you don't use the cartridges I purchase,
it's not. It doesn't need to be a 50.
Sorry about that. They have to gain market share outside of the Americas, right? They have like U.S. pretty good. They have some of North and South America reasonably well. But Asia, they are nothing. Africa, it's non-existent, and in Europe, it's like 3%.
Like, what's that?
It's just so bad,
right?
So how do they grab the market? Put it on PlayStation.
No. What they do is they pick a region, and I think this is what they're trying to do. Go to Europe, and say we're gonna bring. Like, they had a massive presence at Gamescom, right? Probably the only big thing there.
The biggest thing ever,
right? And what you do is you start saying, look, we want you to understand we're here for you as a gamer, not just Xbox, the console.
Right.
And as you do that, you change their mind to say maybe Xbox isn't so bad. And then in the future, you might consider actually saying, you know what, they have all these games. Maybe I should just buy an Xbox. That's what you got to kind of do, right? Or I'll go on PC and I'll play their games there. Oh, what's this Game Pass thing? This sounds like interesting. What is that?
Once somebody tries Game Pass, they don't leave.
That's it. That's the thing, right? So I think that's what they're trying to pull off, right? And so it might feel uncomfortable for us, but as I said, they're charting a new path because nobody has done this before. They're at a level that's just beyond everybody else. They have to do different things. They have to try to change the way things are. And they're also trying to get to that 3 billion users, not the 150, 200 million that are on console. They're going way beyond that. To do that, you have to change methods and tactics. And that's what they're doing here, right? If the players are over there, give them something and say, hey, this is kind of the stuff that we do. Are you interested? Cool. There's more if you want to come this way.
Right.
That's what you kind of have to do, right? Now, there's a calculus for every game. What's going to hurt the Xbox brand more versus allow for more growth? What's going to give them enough financial backing versus hurt? Like Hellblade 2, would it give them enough money if they put it there? Maybe, maybe not, but it might hurt the brand more, right? So they have to make those calculus. So there's no easy answer. No. Everybody wants what's the formula? Well, I'm sorry, they're trying to figure out the formula as they go along
because they're the entrepreneurs.
It's a lot of trial and error. Yeah, it's a lot of trial.
Right, exactly. And so there's not going to be an answer. It's going to be wishy-washy. You might not feel good. Just let the thing play out. All we can do is say, hey, you know what? This one, I like this game this way over here. That's all we can really do. Just give our opinions. Don't get flustered. I think this is kind of what the community went too nuts.
Right.
And we'll see what the outcomes are. I'm still happy. The more they buy, the more they have, the more whatever. Those games are coming to Game Pass for me day and date. I get to play them on PC or console. I'm a happy camper. So to me, I'm good. I'm eating pretty. I'm eating good. This is awesome, right? So If that game is good or bad, I don't care. I get to play it anyways. It's in my freaking service. I can download it, try it out. If I like it, I play it. I finish it. If I don't like it, I uninstall it.
Right.
That's the way it is for me. If it gains them some market share over there, mind share, hey, we're sharing our games with you. Would you like to play more games? Hey, we have this service. That's a good thing for them. I think they're going to need to do more of this to make that mind share shift happen. Then they have to pivot to Asia, which is a whole other area to deal with.
Yeah, it's a whole other
Hopefully,
beast.
whatever they do in Europe will transition to Africa, right? But we'll have to see. We'll see what they do with that, right? But that's what. So that's where I see it.
Let me ask you a question before you finish. By putting in the station money on top of me and Scrub are huge Call of Duty dudes.
Yep.
All day. We buy Call of Duty for $120 every year. We buy the extensive edition.
Now you can cut that back a bit because you just buy the expansion.
No. We got to spend $30 for what we currently spend $120 on, right? So now that you're getting the $30, right? We all know everybody gonna be in the beta next week.
Sony wants that too. That's why they don't want Game Pass because they can't have the service.
No, facts. So now you keep it over there because people say, "Oh, they're gonna make it exclusive." I said, "That's dumb." Because the number one game played is on PlayStation is goddamn Call of Duty, and I play Call of Duty in Halo and 2K basketball 99% of my life. That's why I don't beat no games because I'm an online competitive piece of shit. What I'm gonna say is, with Microsoft getting that money, this is why I'm not mad because now we can get an Indie 2, right? We not getting a Stellar Blade 2, and we surely not getting a Concord 2. But if Concord was a multi-plat, okay, they didn't buy it on PlayStation. That gives PC and Xbox an opportunity, right?
Stellar Blade could still potentially have something.
No, that's done.
You think so? Because it hasn't come out on PC yet, has it?
No, it hasn't. That's what I'm saying. Is that
I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen.
You're basing it off of one platform.
No,
I was like,
you're a Japanese connoisseur and you're biased.
It's Korean, so one, you're completely
Asian,
wrong.
You're Asian biased.
Again, but the thing is that the devs themselves have stated that they are going to put it on more platforms, or at least aiming for PC. PC will pick it up where console has not let it.
So you
I was like, and I have a right to speak because I'm like half these dudes. I own the game right here.
I own the game too.
I know you do.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, it's not about me and you because we invested. What I'm telling you is, will we get a sequel? Not with those numbers on PlayStation.
And that just goes to that. But that's going to go to Shift. That Shift Up is just going to go that they're not going to do any exclusive deals next time.
Yeah, I think
right?
every third party shouldn't do deals like that.
Well, that comes down to that.
Look how many years it took for Square to figure that out with Final Fantasy.
Unless they get a date on PC.
Is that look at what happened? Sega was the first one to wise up. They had the exclusivity for the longest time, and guess what? As soon as they stopped, the money came in. Their game sold more, and now they're making a comeback. So again, Stellar Blade has the absolute possibility of being able to get more once it goes to PC, once it potentially goes to other platforms. Once Shift Up realizes a solo deal with one publisher who really wasn't doing much to publish or to promote the game in the first place is gonna potentially have a lot more than if it was only on that platform.
Let me ask you a question. Now, me and you stood side by side in interviews and talked, develop to developers. You know, I ask the hard questions, right? Would you like to be on Game Pass? And if your game is in Game Pass, what would you think? And everybody boasters great admiration for Game Pass. But let's be real here, bro. People that make these deals, they lose. Square keeps losing. It took them to the brink of almost being bought by Sony to say, you know what, we ain't doing that no more. When do they realize? If Michael Jordan only sold his sneakers in Foot Locker, would that have made him the billionaire he is today? Nope.
But you're also talking about a studio that only made mobile games first.
No, it has not. Nope. That's
what they're gonna learn a lesson. And
when I did that interview, I gave them the hard questions. Hard. Because that's what I'm about. And I told Congo, you just can't be asking saturated questions. So how was the game? Yo, it's amazing. So what was your...
How many Xbox consoles do you think are in Sweden?
12.
Like 10?
PlayStation money. Get out your feelings. But anyway,
and it's more about bringing. I think it's more about bringing those customers to Xbox.
But
to bring them to the Xbox ecosystem.
But that does, right?
That's it. It's more customers. Yeah,
but
exactly.
That does.
On my PlayStation, and
that's not why I'm mad, and why I know a
yeah,
lot of people are
systems is because they want to get both money. But guess what? Had a commercial about how you could play Xbox on the Samsung TVs.
Right.
All these are controlling a lot of these ideas now, because if it was just up to Phil and Sarah, yeah, they would do a lot more stuff probably for gaming and as far as we're going to make this for our system. But you got other folks in charge now that want these numbers, and the only way you get these numbers and these eyes on your games are to put it.
He literally said a world where gamers can have access to games is a world he does not like, and that's literally what
exclusives.
No,
and
no. I ain't talking about that. That's still PC though.
But,
one PC that you could download the Epic Store. That's competition between them. Not knocking that.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is, this is one PC,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's powerful, whether it's low end, whether it's super high end, you still download the same store. No matter how good your PC is or bad, we all download the
Okay, can you hear?
Right. That's all I was saying.
Well, and just what made me mad about the whole situation and all these
to say it's not possible in the realm of possibility.
Right. And I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
At the time that Phil made those statements, right?
Things can change, and if you go into 20, things can change. And when he said that, the next week or 2 weeks or a month after that, somebody could have changed it.
He wanted to do a VR headset. They did the assessment, and it's not financially smart to do VR. Shout out to PlayStation for cutting down the sales on their VR headset and stopping production, and I own that. Facts.
Yeah.
So
all that money that's coming in now, there's going to be a lot of stuff possibly that either Phil has to tiptoe around, or he says something and he truly might believe that's what it is.
Yeah.
But Satya and a bunch of folks,
they not having it.
Right.
Everybody got somebody to answer to. Phil
and
may
that's
say,
why everybody.
Right. I want to go to church on Sundays. They're like, nope, we want to be 7-day Adventists. We're going to church on Saturday.
Yeah. And that's why folks are shaky with just tell us. There's going to be a lot of stuff where they're going to not be able to just tell us.
But who really divulges everything they do?
I think that is.
They don't really
think about it.
Bro, I don't have the answer, but I'm telling you, you see Phil walking around, you see Aaron walking around, you see all these people walking around. Mike Cabrera at the time, sociably outside.
I can answer that very, very fast. Here's why you see Phil. Here's why you see Phil more than you see, like Herman Holtz or the new guy. That's why you see him more. Phil's trying to sell you a product. He's trying to sell you something. He's trying to sell. PlayStation, they're just in cruise control and are lazy right now and riding on the success of PS4 gen. There's
only one CEO.
PlayStation 5. Right?
One CEO
that you might see.
Outside.
You might see that's Shuei Yoshida. But Shuei Yoshida loves games.
Not none of the Japanese dudes. I ain't never seen them.
Okay.
Jack Trenton. That's my favorite. That's my favorite CEO.
That's the goal.
Yeah. Listen.
That's the goal.
What's the name from Nintendo? What's his name?
Reggie.
Oh my God.
Reggie, feeling me?
Awesome.
Reggie.
Yeah, if he's man.
Yeah, he the man.
So,
they outside and they regular. Nobody's acting like they celebrities. Bloody attest to this. We be outside. And a lot of dudes be talking a lot of trash from their couch, but I'm telling you, Sony
is a Jim Ryan thing though, right?
No. It's
showcases while he was there.
Oh no, he went to the
showcase.
I mean
the June showcase, the
E3. I ain't seeing, bro. Hideo Kojima. I'm a Metal Gear Solid. He walked around with dudes big.
It's okay, Sick. I don't think anyone knows what's going on anymore.
Oh, he always got his security on top. He got his security.
He's a little guy. He's small. He's walking in the middle. I saw him because I'm a big dude. I said, "Oh shit, that's Hideo. Why would you walk through E3? You don't talk to nobody." And then when people finally peeped who he was, they swarmed him, right?
Yeah.
Then why? You could have went through the back door like we do as press. Why would you walk on the floor E3 with thousands of people there to talk to nobody?
Well, you know, Kojima got to have his star power moment. That's just how he be. Like, he likes to command the stage at times. Like, remember when before Death Stranding got announced, they announced Hideo Kojima first, but he had that crazy entrance.
I mean, I showing up. And he had the wall. What's going on anymore? We keep jumping from place to place.
No, it's because of the buffering.
It's the buffering. It's the buffering. It's the buffering.
Yeah.
See, you can't pay attention because you're a little, off. You got the SSI check.
I mean, I already knew that. I mean, that's no secret. I never denied that fact.
Now we talk about Gamescom, man, and just the energy, man. So Super G, where the hell Super go again? You see?
G said he left. He said he
had to roll. He said he had to roll. So he didn't.
So listen.
Yeah, he's sitting in the text.
Everybody chimed. I ain't see that. Everybody chimed in for Gamescom, correct?
Yep.
I thought we were finished with Gamescom. I thought we were still talking about the whole damn fucking
Indiana Jones. Yeah.
Indiana Jones bullshit. See, this is what I'm talking about. We went through so many damn topics. You're not even on the same topic anymore.
Wow.
What the fuck?
You know what's crazy?
What's your preference?
You know what's crazy? When the last time you had topics on your show, sucker?
Oh. I always have topics. It's just I don't have a show. There's a difference. No, there's a difference.
Yeah, we got on Indiana Jones, the PlayStation a minute ago. You gotta pay attention, bro. Jesus. Anyway.
I didn't get mine.
No.
Exactly.
Okay. I can make a mistake as a host because when it's a lot of people, that's what it is. So, Bet, talk your ish. Let's go.
So, Indiana Jones situation, I mean, again, it goes back to what Phil said. Again, you already know what he wants. He said he wants more games everywhere. But again, like I said earlier, and everybody agrees, it's just building name recognition, especially since they're like, if you look at, I said this on my show, a lot of people got offended, but it's really the truth though. Like they're dead last. If we're talking about console like makers right now, they're dead last. You got Nintendo, you got PlayStation, literally the top one selling. Microsoft's Xbox is not really selling that much the way they want it. So how do you keep onto that platform? It's very simple. It's a thing called, that's why it's brilliant where they have PlayStation Studios show up first, and now they're going to have Xbox Game Studios. So when the game shows up on PlayStation, they're like, wait, Xbox Game Studios? Okay. They'll play it, and if they like it, they go, damn, okay. And when that sequel is announced, guess what? They're more inclined to go, well, damn, I might actually get that Xbox. They'll play it, especially if it's a hit. You see what I'm saying? But some people might not like that. Some people might not go like, oh, I don't want to buy a new console for it. But I'm telling you, if a game is really, really good, and this is why we say the perfect opportune time for a game to take off. If you got that right game when you strike where the iron is hot, when it matters, that game can sell and moves people to a console. That's what they want. But as far as the announcement is concerned, I mean, again, my opinion, I've been think about me, I'm very consistent across the board. Like I flat out said, I don't really care about Indiana Jones. It's never been a game that I was scared about. I would have liked it more if it was in third person. The first person aspect, I think is kind of, it's cool. It might work for them and whatnot. It might work for the game. It might be good. It didn't look bad or anything graphically. I just not really a big Indiana Jones guy. I'm more of an Uncharted guy. Uncharted fit my playstyle. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I like that.
I said that about Cyberpunk. I thought it wasn't going to work as a first person, but it immersed you.
Right, you'd be more immersed. And remember, they put such a big in for Hellblade 2 because I liked Hellblade 1. But as y'all see, the current theme here, every game that launches on Xbox is considered trash. Every game that launches on Xbox is considered a failure. Every single thing they do is not all the good. But when y'all see that PlayStation Studio thing and it says, "Hey, it's coming here," all of a sudden, these games that are quote unquote labeled as trash are must-haves. And you see this every single time. You can ask anybody on this panel. They see it on social media. It don't matter if the game is a AA game, a AAA game. If it's on Xbox first, they hate on it. But as soon as they get that opportunity for it to come,
it did better than Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Stellar Blade.
It did better than a lot of games.
Yeah, and you
it does better than a lot of Microsoft games.
Look, I'm being petty right now, but those are the facts.
Y'all see the double standard. Y'all see the double standard.
Yes.
Though. Remember back then when games sold 2 million, what was the first thing dude said? Oh, it's niche, it's a failure. But If it's on their platform of choice and they don't want to call it out and keep that same energy, well, I mean, it's still good. It's successful. It's like, bro, if you can't be consistent across the board, do me a favor, get though. At that, I've seen dudes on the Xbox side, they're done. But I'm like, bro, they buy the kids on the Xbox. You could go to a Fire Stick or something. They don't care. It's options. It's the way of getting and buying said game. The problem is too. A lot of dudes, and keep in mind, it's not just Xbox dudes, it's PlayStation dudes. PlayStation, when I'm going to sell. So doesn't that flat out tell you flat out that the pricing's a problem and that you don't give that game a chance? They never gave it the Destruction All-Stars type of chance. I guarantee you, if they threw that in Plus, if you're a Plus member and you get access to it, that would have done a lot better. And here's why I said this. Here's why I said this. If we're looking at a full circle moment, it would have justified that price hike that they did, that $20 price hike that they did for Plus. Remember, it went from $60 to $80. Think about.
But it plays well. It looks good, right?
No, he's talking about the service.
No, I'm talking about the servers and the servers. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the servers.
If all you got is single player games in there, it's not worth it.
If we're looking at a service, if we're looking at the service right now, and I think all you chime in. If we're looking at the service from what they are, what are you taking? If you had the option, you had the option for every games, like the way it is, but you had the option for everything. What would you take? What model would you take? A Game Pass model, or would you take the PlayStation Plus model where they got the tiers?
Game
9
Pass.
times out of 10, y'all would take the Game Pass model. Why?
Right.
You're saving money. You got more perks. You can still buy the games and get DLC. You have all these things at your disposal. PlayStation's Plus system is not anything to write home about. It ain't amazing. It's not amazing. The tiers are confusing and it's stupid. And on top of that, they don't even have native back and pat still for this thing. So for PS3,
most of your games, you're
think about that, Lim. Are you really going to stream PS3?
No, hell no.
Okay, then, so you get where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree.
To back that, recently they had a 50% drop, didn't they? In the two upper tiers.
Yo, he just raised it.
It's going up.
It's 48. We started at 49. I gave you a pass for 49. Now he went to 50. Yeah. 48.
Yeah, I said near 50% drop, right?
Well, here's the thing, though. 48% drop should be a prime testament of what the problem is. You know why
it dropped? Goddamn Call of Duty.
There's nothing there.
They know what it was.
Oh, but no, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
A month before the beta come out, all of a sudden they lose 48%.
I like that Sony's trying to bring classics back, but at the same time, you're still technically paying for these classics. I'm talking about the OG classics because they're throwing trophy support on them. That's cool and all to bring eyes back to them.
Continue.
But you ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing.
Go ahead, Augie. Now he gonna be like 51%. Nah.
No. I was just backing up what the close. I was just agreeing. Obviously the market spoke. You're right. Yeah, they didn't like that model.
They want good services. If you can't offer a good service, then guess what? It's going to drop. And you're seeing people now being vocal about this, but with their wallet. And that's the only way to really get the point across.
Right. That's how you make the noise. Don't buy it.
That's the only way you do it. If you can't make the noise and be honest at that point, then I don't know what to tell you, man. You just flat out you're your own worst enemy and you're a sucker at the end of the day.
Listen,
if you buy it,
this is what I said about Game Pass.
You want to know why I don't have it? I don't have it because what do I play most of my PlayStation games for? The single player, third person, over the shoulder cinematic experiences. And what do most people on Twitter, PlayStation tout? I need my 30 frame per second cinematic third person over the shoulder. Well, then if that's what you touting, you're not going to get the
right.
Because
so if you're
mainly using that for the internet.
Yeah, and the complacency behind that. But there's a lot of complacency. Right, but there's a lot of complacency behind that because they're not looking logical. They go, well, okay, this studio is known for this. Yeah, okay, but there's never been a problem with a studio adapting and getting new traits and moving on and pushing the game in a franchise further in. There's never been a problem with that. The problem is, though, dudes just want to accept every PR spiel. See, we go to these events. Everybody here, we go to these events. So we know the PR spiel. We know how it works. We know how NDAs work.
First of all, it was no. It was a 3D, it was a samurai. And then I said, how do you feel about it dropping next week, Tuesday, in Game Pass? He was like, it's going to Game Pass? I said, you a developer? No, I'm a PR guy. So I asked him, all right, you know, what you invested in. I will never talk to a PR guy again after that.
Condition your mind because you already know what to expect. A lot of these dudes on Twitter, they just go with the grain and they accept everything. It's like, bro, just because they said this, that doesn't mean that's how it actually went. I'm telling you. And you mean to tell me you dudes are this simp that you can't ask for better?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's what kills me, bro. That's what kills me. You see, when it was PS3, you're talking about
I know who know that. I know who know that.
But dudes talking about but dudes talking about dumb stuff like Black Myth and trying to look for dumb stuff like that, trying to kill games rather than support the games. I don't understand the mindset behind this. It's stupid. That's why social media is dumb as it is. That's why a lot of these developers don't even be on Twitter. They see how dumb dudes are.
Yo, listen, that's why when people was like, Concord gonna fail, I'm like, yo, since when you want people to fail at bringing a game to your living room? What? Like, I want all the games possible.
No.
Positive.
I think it was Don Matrick who said, Don Matrick or whoever the hell the dude said. He said, yeah, today you're going to have a relationship with your TV or something with the damn TV.
Yeah, facts.
That was the dumbest market I've ever seen.
Listen, man, anybody else want to chime in on this before we get out of here? Anybody? Hoggy, was a pleasure. I got a shout out. Y'all bring something different to the table. Y'all amazing. Shout out to I'm changing my rap. I do got a net gig. He just getting over COVID. He said he lost his voice. Shout out to King David. He was like, I'm coming on the show. I said, nah, you gonna try to monopolize. With that being said, 129 is in. I'm gonna apologize for the buffering. Because I'm watching the same thing you watch. I'm like, why is it doing that? I got a gig.
Hopefully it should be fixed on the playback. Yeah, it should be no problem.
I got a gig over here. But you know what?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as this show's over, I'm gonna update it. Scrub, you know it's always a pleasure, my brother. You're a great new team member to the team, man. Shout out to you. And we gonna stream. We gonna do that co-stream next week. We gonna do that. Oh, Call of Duty. Oh
yeah.
We don't get back to the house. Yeah, we level up. Facts. Huggy. Yeah.
The book.
Yeah. Get into your book. Because I'm telling you, even though you advertising while you streaming, we can't see that shit. Yo, I had to pause it, zoom in. I said, yo, I want to buy this book. That's his book. Explain what the book is about, where they can find you. Sure. His link is in the chat. I specifically did that. No, I don't got 50,000 subs, but my 2,200 people matter to me. Go in that chat, support this brother. He gonna explain what that book about, and then we gonna move on.
Yeah, so actually it started as a game idea in sort of the Mass Effect vein, and it was something that came up years ago, and I never went anywhere with it. And I'm like, to hell with it, I'm just making it into a book. So I published the book. It's a sci-fi novel, kind of a space travel adventure. It's called Emergence. Check it out if you want. It's at shop.tiny.us, and it'll point you to Amazon and Barnes & Noble and all that, so you can get the exact page for the book on those sites. If you want a signed copy, you can get one there as well. There's also merch. I'm wearing the shirt.
Wait, hold on. You going to sign my copy when I meet you again?
I can, sure.
Oh, yeah. I need that Michael Jordan autograph.
So yeah, check that out if you want. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, YouTube.
You're going to charge me $1?
Yeah,
that's
right.
petty, like 50 cents.
50 Cent been in my city for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, giving out that word. Continue, Huggy.
Yeah, Huggy Shiny One is my channel. If you want to subscribe there, I'll drop videos here and there. Check those out. So that's it.
Yo, I love that, man.
And I'm on like every podcast, so you'll see me in something.
Yo, listen, man. Yo, listen,
everywhere.
Man. This dude like a podcast legend that don't have Twitter. And listen, let me say this.
Exactly.
Let me say this right now. This is not being petty. When you insult my guy and say he be lying, first of all, he's giving you an honest opinion. He don't even support Twitter, which I've been begging him for the last 2-3 years to get on, right? He's not a social media dude. He don't have a website to get people to. He don't have a YouTube channel to get you to. Stop You call my man a liar and you say it in my face, you might get slapped. I'm just giving y'all the facts because this dude is an honest, real guy, and he give you his business side of an opinion.
They don't. This is the internet. They see a dude talking on an Xbox show, and then they immediately let their bias kick in. That's all this.
So
but here's the thing.
Hold on.
What's that? Let me throw the jar.
Goddamn Xbox show.
Oh no! I'm talking about in general. They'll see him on an Xbox show. What the hell? They'll cut me up.
Yeah.
No, but they'll say that slick stuff online. But here's the thing. They all have in common, Hargate. When it comes to that real world, and they ever see you there, they soft.
Yeah, soft as tomato paste. But just remember, he got real dudes behind him. It's not a fair fight. I'm jumping in. Facts.
They gonna get jumped in.
Can't really be, my dude don't really promote no negativity. He don't talk about nobody. He don't even, like I said, he don't even have social media. Please stop acting like he out here for clout. Please, we gonna stop that. Please don't do that. Please, how about you stay in your goddamn lane? As broke as it is. Anyway, Big Cloud, welcome. You didn't even say you was coming. Next time I put a tweet out, roll call, you don't say nothing, I'm going to see you, brother, because you be outside.
Yes, sir. RGT Fridays. You guys should be there at 5 p.m. Shout out to my boy Scrub.
I need that invite.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we need to get wild crazy. Wow,
you want to pull up this week?
Yeah, let's go.
You want to pull up?
Let's go.
Get it. All right,
Let's go.
We got Lim pulling up. There you go.
Yeah.
Shout out to the GOAT, Lim. I appreciate it. Shout out to my boy Bloody. Wait, I ain't talked to him in a minute, so it's always good to see you. Supra was there. Shout out to one of the most generous, but also one of the coolest dudes in the community, my man Hargeet. So it's good to always talk to Hargeet. And you guys find me, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Big Cloud Gamers. You find me there. You also find me with the Iron Lords on Lognet as a writer. You'll find me there. So shout out to my boys over there at Lognet. I don't even know where my damn cup is over there. But shout out to Lognet over there, writing everything. And aside from that, you also see me on IGN, playlist curator. So things of that nature.
We need
feelings are y'all dudes get too emotional over decisions corporate. At the end of the day, and I said this before Jim Ryan took over and everything, I said it flat out. At the end of the day, as soon as he took over and he said things were gonna be aggressive and X amount of their money.
And a lot of these devs don't even control the destiny of the game because they work.
Cliff, yeah, that guy. Something. It's like Harmon Smith or something like that. The dude who made that Project Abandoned.
I feel bad for anyone who actually thought that was going to be something great because I think.
Well, he lied. He said.
Well, I mean, 85% of the internet when they first saw everything that they were talking about.
I remember that. Yeah.
No, like even before anything, I was like, I think 85% of the internet when they first saw that PlayStation post talking about it, they're like, "There's no way this is real." And then when the dude started talking about everything, it's just like, this is not real.
Yeah. I'm over here like, bro, this is what it's come down to. We lying like this for clout. Hey, brother, good luck.
Well, the dude apparently he finessed Jeff Keighley and he finessed the PlayStation official. So, I mean.
That's like, bro,
Yo, listen, man. It is what it is. We got to keep going. This the longest Dragon's Den ever. Mm-hmm. It wasn't long for you, Bit, because you wasn't here in the beginning, sucker. But I'm gonna say this. Let me shout out somebody, man. Shout out to Paris. Me and him chopped it up for a long time, a couple years now. Never met. Good dude. I reached out to my brother Cog. I said, yo, I can't reach this guy to get him on the podcast. Shout out for y'all, my co-host. Y'all did a great job. Hargeet already knows him. But I got to bring my team in. Ain't no selfish situation here, you heard? But I appreciate y'all. The chat has been absolutely amazing dealing with the buffering. I'm going to upgrade goddamn OBS. Because I was like, oh, skip that. Because I'd have never update before a show because it breaks everything. So I said, nah, I'm going to skip this one. God damn it, I regret that. Shout out to Bit and Bloody for telling me. So, Scrub, when you ain't saving lives, what you doing? You taking lives on Call of Duty.
That's right. Well, I've been on X Defiant for about the last 2 weeks.
I'm never playing that again.
Oh, bro, I'm killing folks, bro.
No.
They can't mess with me.
You know what my problem is, right? It's the hit detection. Me and you are killers. Ain't no way I shoot somebody in the back. They turn around and murk me. Well,
they've been up.
When they fix that, I'll be back. I'm gonna let you be the pony bot on that because I'm not going back until yo, listen, I'm a goddamn killer. You hear what I'm telling you? Yo, Bit, I'm a killer. Yeah. I'm shooting dudes in their back. They turn around and pop me. I'm dead. I'm like, either my internet is better than theirs, and my shots is not being detected, but I'm not doing that.
The first killer that'd be repping Baby Gap. Yes, sir.
Oh, did we finally end the podcast?
Yo, listen, man, it is what it is. But one thing I gotta give y'all an update. I got a tech review, Tech Tuesday, premiering this week. We doing Ray-Ban Metas.
I'm not even talking about the topic. I'm talking about something else that they brought up.
You shouldn't be talking.
I was clearly
Yo, listen. Yo, bro. Breathe. You did a good job tonight. Yo, first of all, Bloody, you know I love you, bro. You know I got your back all day.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Great show. So what I'm saying is, Tech Tuesday, I got an unboxing. We got the ROG Ally X. We got the 4 terabyte. We got a 1 terabyte SSD. We also have.
You got that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on. I'm walking around with 5 terabytes, bro.
I mean, you still got your Steam Deck?
No, I ain't bought Steam Deck.
I
bought the Asus. I don't really like Linux, right? And I couldn't put Game Pass on there natively. That's why I skipped the Steam. That was the biggest thing, right?
Okay, gotcha.
I didn't want to do all that stuff.
Linux conversion.
Right. So I got the ROG Ally up. This is not a review. I bought the Meta Band,
like an impression,
the Ray-Bans Metas, because when I go to these conventions, I want to live stream live like I did in 2018 when nobody was putting the game on the floor from my cell phone. We walked around with microphones lined up, and I put people on the floor at E3. Now with these glasses, I just hit the button, and I could do the same thing. So please, go to Instagram, follow One Away Dragons TV, because that's where I'll be live at. Tomorrow, I got to do some more developer interviews, and I'm going to put you live on the floor from Jacob Javits Center in New York because the glasses is about it. And then I got some great accessories. Yeah.
Okay.
I got the battery, the Venture Pro battery, and then I got the Venture Pro XRs, 130 inches, 35 inches, 4,000 nits, Sony OLEDs, all that. This channel is small, but we do big things.
Big things. There you go.
Facts. So you wondering why? Oh, how Paris he only got 2,200 subs? Because I know people. It's not about the subs, baby. It's about the company you keep.
Well, you know.
Facts.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Facts.
That's right.
So listen, chat. Y'all been amazing. Team, y'all been amazing. I love this, man. I do this for gaming. I do it for gaming. I don't do it for financial gain. Shout out to the super chat. Shout out to everybody. We were supposed to do membership giveaway. We're going to do it next Saturday because we got so busy. It was crazy. We're going to do it next Saturday, man. You heard? Giving away that shirt. Next one is going to be somebody pulling up on a podcast, being a guest. So don't be shy. You ain't got to show your camera. You ain't got to get on camera. Just pull up, give your point of views, keep it respectful. We're going to keep it peaceful. That's it. So next week, we're going to do something for the episode 130. Woo. Shout out to y'all, man. Listen, happy goddamn Saturday. I don't know what you're doing after that. It's not Sunday.
Yes, it is.
What time is it?
Technically it's Sunday. No.
It is?
It's 12:30, bro. We've been going for 4.5 hours.
This is crazy.
Excuse Lemon, he's a little Toa.
No, but I ain't look at the clock. I didn't know we went that long because we started at 8. Because usually we start at 6, but
I've been warning you every time. You don't listen.
No. Hold on. So I gotta go over there to Mr. 100 podcast. But let me tell you something. I told Paris, listen, the only reason we went at 8 o'clock because I had to develop interviews today. I had to do the convention in New York and Jacob Javits Center. I said, I got 2 things to do in one day. Very important interview. Very important. I told Huggy, we talked the last 3 days. I said, yo, I want you to come on too. Because this dude is absolutely amazing with his information. He's a bonus. He's a cheat code. You know what I'm saying? Had to bring my brother on. But God damn, we in the next day? I'm sorry. Anyway, we gotta go. God damn. The next day, I don't even think ILP did that. Facts. Hold on.
Don't dare him.